Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to, what was once sunny Blackpool for the 2016 BCGBA FLOWFIT British Senior Merit. This competition today is sponsored by FLOWFIT, manufacturers and suppliers of hydraulic components, and I am reliably informed they are industry leaders and the people you want to talk to should you want anything of that. I'm joined in the commentary box by one of the living legends of the game, Mr. Roy Armson. Roy is president of the British Professional Crown Green Bowling Association, known as the Panel, based in West Horton, and is also president of the Manchester Premier League. And Roy has won probably more competitions than everybody in this competition put together. So welcome, Roy.
Thank you, Steve. Yes, good afternoon, everybody.
Well, anything caught your eye, especially any particular players caught your eye today, Roy?
I think there's been some epic games. I mean, the game with Glyn Cookson and Greg Smith was absolutely outstanding. It could have gone either way, and it was significant that Glyn actually played Greg Smith on marks about 28 yards, which was unusual. And of course, the other thing that's happened is we've lost three of the big four: Callum Raitt, Greg Smith and Graham Wilson, and also the current Waterloo champion Tim Horton. They've all fallen by the wayside today.
Yeah, well, that just shows how the competition we have today, because say all season players have been playing in qualifying tournaments, county merits. They proved they are the best in their competition or the best in their county, and today we're going to find out who's the best of the best. And I know you've just made a comment about Greg Smith and Glyn Cookson's game. I was here yesterday for the Charlie Tattersall 31 up, and Greg Smith was playing against Stuart Rutter, and a tactic of Stuart was to do the very same as Glyn did. So I'm just wondering if Glyn may have got a bit of inspiration from that, because I say it was a slightly surprising result with all due respect to Stuart Rutter, but he deserved it the way he played it during the game. And of course Greg went on to have success in the challenge competition last night at Martin Institute. So he's a man in form, but people may have found a successful tactic against him.
I just think one of the things that's happened today is that the green's playing all kinds of tricks. I think it's with the prolonged spell of dry weather and the fact that it's been mown every day for the last week, noticeably the parts of the green, especially towards the edges, are all trickling by, and I think it's caught one or two of the regular competitors that come here. I think it's caught one or two of them out.
It's playing particularly slick.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is that, although maybe not apparent, there's quite a gusty wind down there as well. Yeah. And of course, historically, the wind always blows the balls away from the jack.
Yeah, exactly. They don't blow them any closer. I mean, we're up in a rather comfortable commentary area, but it is quite noticeable. Everybody outside, and quite a few have got quite big coats on. Anyway, before we pick up a game, I'll just quickly run through the scores on the doors so far. In the last 32, which was the first round of today's competition, Gary Ellis, him got a programme in front of him, has won most of the qualifying events for this competition today. He beat John Kennish 21-15. Ian Johnson beat Matt Gillies 21-20. Leighton Roberts beat Kieran Smith 21-16. Callum Raitt beat Lee Heaton 21-15 in a game that was a repeat of the game that was played on Wednesday in the Waterloo handicap. Andy Thornton got beat 21-18 by Matt Gilmore. Scott Simpson beat Dan Taylor 21-15. Wayne Rogers beat Jason Jones 21-15. Matt Horton beat James Thomas 21-13. Nick Burridge, the Merseyside County Champion, beat Graham Wilson 21-20. Simon Cowp beat Kevin Boone 21-13. Tommy Johnson beat Dan Petcher 21-18. Jimmy Hines beat Graham Bennett 21-14. Noel Burrows beat Richard Helliwell 21-18. As I mentioned, Glyn Cookson and Greg Smith, the actual result was 21-17 to Glyn. Jonathan Snedden beat the British Equipment UK British Junior Merit winner Andy Armstrong. He beat him 21-14. And Damien Morrison knocked out the Waterloo champion Tim Horton. That result was 21-19. There's already been a couple of second round results. Gary Ellis has beat Ian Johnson 21-3. Leighton Roberts has beat Callum Wright 21-3. Wayne Rogers beat Matt Horton 21-14. So that's, we may have a quick update in a few minutes with more scores that are coming off. And we'll just be about to go to a game. We are going to the Nick Burridge against Glyn Cookson game. I say the it's the Noel Burrows Glyn Cookson game. Current score on the doors is Glyn Cookson is 12-5 up. I say they're just playing towards us. They're playing from the corner of the north and west stands on playing a peg and mark onto the, it's finishing not far in front of the Waterloo shop. Thumb peg along the edge. Good first bowl, Roy.
Absolutely, yes. It's only about 9 inches off that ball, and it's one of the things that Noel Burrows likes to do. He likes to play round peg down the edges on several greens that he's used to, and if he's in difficulty, that's the tactic that he will always resort to.
Yeah, I've noticed that. He's done it against me a few times. Normally to great effect. Trying to make sure he counts 2 with his second bowl, and I think that may have just finished a tad short, Roy.
Yeah, I think it's only 1. So just strike on for Glyn. He can strike round peg. He can catch that ball half ball, and he can get it out.
Got to be careful if he does strike that round peg. His own bowl is dangerously close to being knocked out.
Oh, well spotted.
I've done that a few times as well. 2 more for Noel. I say still got a comfortable lead for Glyn, but he's Noel will be thinking now, well, another couple of good ends and I'm almost level.
Yeah, I think you go back down this side now. Yeah, he's going back towards the north stand, finger peg, bias towards the ditch. Going to a quicker part of the green here, playing about 29 yards.
You just get over a hill and just the block just kicks on again. It's in grave danger, of course, on that edge of actually, it's easy to be tight and then the ball just catches the slope and then it wanders off the green. I'm happy with that lead though.
That's not too bad, it's a good length.
Yeah, good effort from Glyn. If it stops, not going to stop. Catches that down slow. Anything past the jack there is just in grave danger of just wandering off the green.
Yeah, Glyn's bowls have got a little bit more peg in them than what Noel's have, so that too has had the effect of taking it down that slope.
Oh, Noel may not be happy if it doesn't stop. That particular corner is now obscured from our commentary position by various devices. And Glyn definitely tried, tell you what, I'll try the other way in and make sure I save one, and it's pegged for England. And Glyn's probably thinking to himself, how in God's name have I got that there? Yeah, they've asked for a measure. Glyn, I think, has been more favouring his own bowl to be second. And good eye is Glyn, very good eye. He's known one of the best judges in the game, and he got that one right. One more to know. 8-12 as they're going to lead out. And I'd be surprised if Noel changed tactic and went anywhere else but along this edge.
Oh no, he'll stick to that. As long as he's chalking, he'll stick on that mark. Playing thumb peg, coming back up into the entrance corner. And it's a noticeably, one of the things about this mark, it's always a little bit stiffer coming this way. Probably about 5 feet slower coming this way.
You've got a little bit more leeway if you just a bowl tighter than Jack. It will peg on you, but the slope here is not as severe, and it's not likely, unless your weight's a bit wrong as well, to peg off the green. Not the greatest of leads by Noel. Well, 4 foot short, and Glyn stepped in with what looks like a back toucher. Decision here for Noel. Does he try and play one and accept that he's going to be one down and not leave Glyn room for another, or does he try and just tickle the Jack and he's done? Well, neither.
I don't know what he was doing with that ball at all.
It was always too wide. The length he played indicated that he was actually going to try and play to take the shot away from Glenn, but all he has succeeded in doing is leaving far too much room for a bowler of Glyn's ability. And it's 2 to Glyn. Cookson gets him to 14-8, and you can guarantee he will not be going back on that edge.
No, that was a cheap 2 for Glyn, and I think he'll certainly go as far as he can. I think he thinks that this is now, at Noel's age, one of the weaker parts of his game, because the grand old man of bowls is now, he's 73, and although he does marvellously well for a man of that age, he still does have a tendency to play more short bowls than not.
Noel's famous, as everyone has now moved to a plastic or a composition bowl. Noel has resisted such an urge and has stayed true to a set of wooden bowls, Lignum Vitae.
Yeah, they've been all over the place, these wooden bowls. They've been battered and they've been refurbished and they've been shrunk. They've actually gone down now to 211, £2.11 in weight, which is actually the same weight that Glyn Cookson's playing. But as you rightly pointed out, Glyn Cookson's playing with a composition bowl, a low density bowl, a Taylor Express, and there won't be much difference in the running of the bowls actually.
Glyn's second bowl there can only be described as one of mine. I'm not sure this bowl of Noel's is one that he'll be I'm not sure he'll be telling tales of it in the pub later. He'll be going, I didn't send that. That wasn't one of mine. It got it.
Yeah, I've noticed over the past week, watching the Waterloo and today, in that corner, very, very few balls have been near the Jack. They're either a little bit too far going down the slope or a bit under or over. So it's developed its own characteristics in that corner of being quite difficult. And I think what happens is, over the years, greens do change. You have all these heavy rollers on the mowing machines now, and also you get erosion, especially when you're near the sea.
Are you saying it rains a lot in Blackpool, though? I think you already mentioned about this green's had a lot of activity on it in the last week or so. I mean, since obviously the Waterloo last 64 started last Saturday, so there's been the only day there wasn't bowls on it this week has been on Thursday. So it's had a lot of traffic. It was on Saturday. It was a nice firm surface, and it could only have got firmer. And obviously with everyone playing corner bowls this week, and over certain parts of the green having more activity on it than more footfall on it than other parts, they would have been firmed up because just people walking on them, just compacting the ground even more. So it's made it even, to quicken that part of the green up.
And I think, to be fair, the Waterloo people must be absolutely delighted with the green. And I know the players are, and I think they've had a lot of help from people like Dennis Mowers and Pitch Care in getting the green in tip-top order, but it really is a credit to everybody concerned.
Well, I remember you always saying that this historically was a September green. You come here for certainly the spring and the qualifiers of this, and it was kind of, you know, what did you have to do to the green to get it in such good condition for, you know, the Waterloo finals week. And it always materialised that this green, you came here for the Waterloo last 64, then you will find that it will be in absolutely fantastic condition.
Yep.
It's always with credit to the people who've worked on the green on any particular season, that they always got it in extremely good condition.
Well, Noel's just got a good 2 there, and Glenn came almost into the corners, so just let's see where Noel goes now. He's going right through the centre of the green, down to the faster part of the green. Only playing about 28 yards here, playing finger peg.
That's 15-10 to Glenn, and slightly different. Oh, no, actually, maybe I'm slightly concerned this ball was going to finish up. We just showed that middle of the green being compacted, very, very slick. And this bowler, low density bowler, Glenn's not going to stop. He's going to keep on going. Glenn's scratching his head. He probably didn't think I sent it that far. I don't think that second, I was not happy again with that second bowl of his. More problem with that is that he was sent it a bowl and a half tighter on the land than his first.
Yeah, just talking to Noel about his game these days, because I've watched him and played with him for a long time. I've watched him for about 30 years, and I think he says that what happens with him these days is his concentration levels aren't as keen as what they used to be when he was a lot younger, and consequently sometimes with his second ball he doesn't quite do what he wanted to do, and his concentration just slips a little bit.
I think Noel's one of the few Crown Green players who's successfully transitioned over to the flat game, where, you know, concentration levels, sending 4 bowls per end, you've got to concentrate that little bit more with each bowl.
Yeah, he plays flat green in the winter time, and not only that, he's never off a bowling green or a bowling carpet, because he also plays short mat. He plays
successfully.
He plays short mat for the county, so that that coupled with the fact that he looks after 4 bowling greens, I don't know how the heck he does it.
Well, he's got one of those actions. I mentioned it in a column I was doing for my bowls magazine during the week. He played Graham Wilson, and if any aspiring young player looking at, you know, who to copy, you could do a lot worse than copy the actions of Graham Wilson or Noel Burrows. You know, you talk about various people, like, you know, they've got a long stride forward, they stoop, they stay tall in the delivery and whatever. You've got Noel and Graham, who you kind of think they could literally send balls every day, all week, every month, all month. Just there's very little, I was trying to say, wear and tear on the body with their action.
Yeah,
it's very smooth, very efficient.
I think you're absolutely right. I would recommend any young players to take the chance, take the opportunity to watch either of those 2 players whenever they can. Not only the way they deliver the balls and the way they play, but their deportment on the green and the way that they accept defeat with good grace. It's a perfect lesson for all good young players.
We gave Noel the big build up there, and he's chucked one about 4 yards short.
Yeah, this is one of the lapses in concentration.
As he's a thumb peg right down the middle of the green, very quick. It gets over like a ridge, and then it just kicks on an extra couple of yards quite quickly. And Noel's just short of that ridge. He's finished 4 yards short. If he puts 4 yards in it, he'll go about 2 yards over. Although again, he needs to run with this again. I know he's got a big set of wooden bowls, but they've not got a rocket in them. Should really give Glenn an easy bowl now to get 2 again. And it might be a key with this game, but that just as Noel looks like he's almost drawing level, he lets Glenn have an opportunity for 2 that he has been taken but didn't take this time.
Yeah, I don't know how he came to hit that ball. I thought he would have been at least a foot underneath it. Not like Glenn, that.
No, it's not. And to be honest, it'll he'll be the first to criticise myself for sending a bad bowl there, because the only thing he had to make sure he didn't do was run into the back of Noel's bowl, and he did quite well to hit it. It was actually a harder bowl to hit Noel's bowl than it was to get to. Choice here for Glyn. Did he go shop corner or pub corner? Like a thumb peg mark towards, not going really into the corner. He's trying to play a similar length to what he played in the last game against Greg Smith, really. Thumb peg towards the Cop grandstand, towards the entrance to the Waterloo itself.
I think he's keeping the jack safe. He's seen 1 or 2 balls trickle off in this corner this morning, so he's keeping the jack well out of the corner, something like 7 yards out of the corner.
Early on in his game against Greg Smith, he did try and play corners, and he did exactly what you said. He came to this corner, thumb peg, the jack was lucky to stay on. He tried to play a good but a safe lead, and it still went off. He actually lost that end. He gave an easy 2-away to Greg, and I think that what made him try a safer tactic with the jack and just play a shorter game. Noel's a yard short with his first. Has improved with this. Whether it actually stops now is a different matter. Definitely not 1. Don't think it's saved either. 2 for Glyn. That takes him to 18. I think 18-14 to Glyn Cookson. Just wants 3 for game.
Playing finger peg now. Not quite in the corner again. Kept the jack about 8 yards out of the corner, keeping it in a quite safe position. Now he should get a decent bowl here.
What's certainly been notable about my visit to the Waterloo over the last few years, that the middle of the green is generally quite a bit quicker than the edges. Although it's not quite the same this time, we talked about all the activity on the green has quickened it up, but the middle of the green, obviously with a raised crown, even though it's not the biggest of crowns on this green, always seems to run quicker than certainly the road edge, which is famous for being a bit of a push. And so you can go so far across the middle of the green and be quite quick, and it would also slow up towards the edges of the green. Noel's got problems here. He's currently lying 2 down. He must improve on his first. Must try and cut must cut Glyn's count down on this, or try and win the end himself. And he's short again. And he won't be happy. Won't be happy there. Now go all but 14. Won't be happy with the last couple of ends, will Noel. Got back to within 2, and he's given Glyn some easy points, really.
It's coming finger peg here, just below the crown. Jack pegs about a yard here. Uphill, the downhill finish.
He'd be happy with this. If he gave him the opportunity to walk up and place his first bowl wherever he wanted it, he'd put it about there.
Glyn's a good ball from Glyn. Here's Noel coming the other peg.
No, it's more of a target, the other peg. It's difficult on finger peg to have got round that bowl, and he's been very unlucky. He's really only about 2 inches of contact away from putting a winning bowl in.
Yeah, he was unlucky there. It was a very, very good bowl. Glyn's followed him now. He's coming thumb peg.
He's just going to be out the back, but it's a safe bowl for Glyn there, because you think Noel must be up, and obviously the jack's only going to go towards Glyn's second bowl if it moves at all. A lot more weight played here by Noel.
Too low this. Too low.
And we have a result, ladies and gentlemen. Glyn Cookson 21-14 against Noel Burrows. And with one of those games where Noel's thinking, well, just when I didn't want them, I had quite a bad end.
Yeah, and of course the worst thing was he left 2s.
Yeah.
And 2s mount up, and 2s win games, no question.
Well, that was always the old algebra, Brian Duncan. Make sure you get your 2s. Yeah. They'll win you the game eventually.
Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody, to what was once sunny Blackpool for the 2016 BCGBA FLOWFIT Champion of Champions. We're just waiting for the last game of the second round to be completed, which is the game between Jonathan Snedden and Damien Morrison. That game is currently 13-12 to Damien Morrison of the King and Queen Club in Warrington. And then we're going to have a quarter-final game between Gary Ellis, who's won too many competitions to qualify for this competition that I'm prepared to read out because I'll be here all day, and he will play Leighton Roberts, who won the Isle of Man September Festival. That's the game we're going to be following next, but we'll do a bit of work on this one because otherwise the camera crew aren't going to thinking that they're going to get paid. And I say, you've got Jonathan Snedden, he just led out, he's got back to just one behind, 13-12 against Damien Morrison. He's led finger peg out of the toilet corner, for lack of a better term. Finger peg up towards the cop. Quite a long mark, but he's not played it as well as he could have done. He's left a bowl 2.5 yards short and then 2 yards through. Left far too much room for a player of Damien's ability, and he's just, he's done what he should have done. He's counted 2 with that. I mean, John will be kicking his bowls in saying, I'm not going to win the game playing bowls like that. And he's probably quite right. And he's given Damien the option now. He's gone 3 clear, 15-12. I think I would be looking at this game thinking, Damien's probably the favourite to win this particular match, Roy.
Yeah, I think you just never know with Damien. He plays an awful lot of bowls, especially in the Warrington area, but sometimes you're not sure whether he sent his brother the way he plays. But he can play to a very high standard when he's on form. Playing thumb peg now, deep into the corner. Look, it doesn't look too bad here.
Damien's one of those players. I intend to do an article during the long cold winter months about the state of bowls in various counties and how they're performing in the Ensley County Championship. And he's about Lancashire. He's about all the players Lancashire have got. They've got a fantastic history in the game. But currently, you talk about players who could win this competition or win national competitions. If you take Damien Morrison out of the equation, who has the ability to go a long way in this competition, they haven't really got a huge amount of players on really. They've got a lot of players who could really go a long way in this. It's a high standard league that they've got, but they've just not got the players who can beat the Wilsons, Ellises, Smiths of the game.
I feel very sorry for the Lancashire County people. I think because I spent 5 years with them and we had a marvellous team, but I think when they reallocated all the boundaries, I think Warrington and Wigan and a bit of Bolton is all that's left of Lancashire County now, whereas of course they used to have the whole of Merseyside and everything, and it's very difficult for them now to select teams.
Well, when the reorganisation was done, obviously North Lancashire and Fylde was created, Merseyside, Greater Manchester. You're talking about a county association which must at that time had 2,000 clubs. It came down. It's still probably, I think, the second or third biggest county in the game. Merseyside is only a small geographical area, but it's still the 6th or 7th biggest. North Lancashire, Fylde and Greater Manchester, although not huge geographically, certainly not Greater Manchester, it's still very big from the number of clubs who are registered. It just shows how strong the game of Crown Green Bowls was in that area. And of course, Lancashire's history in the county championship, they've won it more years than anybody else, but they've not won it lately. And I'm not sure they're in grave danger to win it the next year either, which is a shame because I say that I've spent a lot of time in that county now, and it's a pleasure to play bowls on some of the greens that they've got. And Damien is romping ahead in this game now. He's simply put the cameras on him. He's turned the volume up to 11, Roy.
Yeah, he sure has. Playing a medium length and keeping it quite simple. Playing thumb peg both ways. No reason to change. He'll go back down to the far corner, north stand corner.
Well, we'll let Damien negotiate his pathway into the quarterfinals on his own, and will move over to the game between Leighton Roberts, the Alaman September Festival winner. He's just played a lead bowl to within 18 inches against Gary Ellis. He's won, well, he's got a list here, but I'll be half an hour reading it out of the competitions he's won this year. I'm not going to... The game will be half over by the time I finish reading all them out.
It could be an outstanding match, this, because they've both had absolutely tremendous wins, haven't they? Both winning 21-3, which is amazing in a competition of this calibre.
Well, let's put it, I went to the shop and when they were going on the green, and by the time I came back I was off, and I don't think I was that long in the shop. Hey, Gary's got a chance now. He's got back bowl, so Leighton's left his second bowl short, so Gary's thought, right, I'll be at that, thank you very much. Finger peg, trail the jack to his back bowl for 2. Thank you very much. 2 marker.
Typical Gary Ellis, that he takes great care with his second bowl, studies what the options are. I think of all the players who are playing the game today, he's the one who I regard as the ultimate professional. I don't think he's a natural player, but there's nobody who puts more effort into the game than Gary Ellis. Nobody practices more than Gary Ellis. I recall a few years ago when we were on a bowls holiday in Portugal, and the competition was taking place there. He'd be on the green at 6:30 in the morning before anybody else got there. He'd have an hour and a half.
I remember that well.
And it's still that is, you get out of the game what you put in, and he puts an awful lot in, and he's become a very, very astute tactician.
You probably count on one hand the bowls this year that the wrong bowls he's played this year. You know, that he probably would have back and try again. He's famous for this. He has a tactic. This is what he plans to do. Because he's not the easiest player to play against, because he's, shall we say, he's on the extreme edge of the mat. When he's sending it, he does quite often play across his leg as well, so it's not the easiest player at times to follow. We're going to stop doing this build-up, because every time we do it, he chucks one about 4 yards off. So Leighton, if he's a length, Gary's having a look. Very good judges, Gary, but I think he's judged that Leighton has got 2 bowls closer than his closest one, so it's levels the game up. 2 across.
Coming towards the heavier part of the green now. Up and over the ground, playing finger peg towards the cob.
You must make sure you're there with the bowl. So easy to finish 2 yards short. Centre's ball, probably just under a yard past the jack, but he'd be quite happy with that. I was thinking, made sure he wasn't short, which is the so easy to do. Because Gary's so much experience on this green, 5-time Waterloo winner. You'll know you're not going to lose him on this green for certain. If Leighton's going to win this game, he's got to make sure he does it by good play, and you can't really expect Gary to start chucking him 2 or 3 yards off. And Gary's turn peg, playing up the bowl. Block would be nice. He's got a bowl on the side, just like that. Cuts it over.
That's a classic example of how he knows every angle of the green. Notice him doing that. Perfect ball.
Well, if he made contact with Leighton's ball that was in front of the jack, he was knocking it past the jack for 2. If he made any contact with the jack, he was either following it through to count or chipping it over to his own bowl to count. So he probably had a target over 35 yards of maybe a foot wide and hit it.
I think this is one of the occasions where Gary won't know an awful lot about Leighton Roberts. I know he'll know that he won the Isle of Man, but I think he'll test him out a little bit, and if he gets in here, he's got two options. He can either go in the corner or go down round peg down the edge of the green, which is one of his favourite tactics. But again, a lead like that, it's not like Gary Ellis, so it's just showing how the green's playing all kinds of tricks.
Well, everyone knows you've got to reach towards the Cop grandstand, and going away then you've got to be careful you don't go a yard too far. Obviously both players would have known that, and they're both still being caught out by what must be a rather slick bit of land. So Gary's corrected, he's taken quite a bit of distance out of his first bowl, but he's still not exactly endangering the jack. I'm not sure this bowler Leighton's actually stopped in time. It has. Yeah, Gary's bowl must have been further short than we thought. He's not happy with himself. That's a particularly loose end. Wouldn't be happy with that. Somewhere different. They've been playing up and down the green towards the Cop grandstand and the pub. Now Leighton's changed, gone across. Thumb peg mark. Across the green towards the west stand. Bowl's finished, well, trickled a yard past. Gary's still looking at this bowl of his. He must think he likes it, and he's got every right to. Probably just a foot behind the jack. Well, Leighton's after this one. He must like it. He must dragging it closer, and dragging it not close enough. Gary would think he can be up here as long as he's not pegging into Leighton's bowl. He should have a decent chance of catching a pair. Just make sure he's not gone tight to it and endangered counting at all. He's played a good second, counted 2. Gone back into the lead, 5-3. Looking now somewhere different. So Gary is very good on the edge across the north stand. He's won many a competition on that edge alone. Can't really get onto it from here, so he's looking towards the pub corner. And on thumb peg, just playing 6 or 7 yards out of the corner. He's keeping an eye on this bowl, Gary. It's a decent length. Quite happy with this. Leighton, what can he do in reply? Looks to be passing Gary. He needs to stop. Yeah, it's gone out.
Yeah, normally in that corner it's one of the heaviest parts of the green. I agree, the jack's about 8 yards out of the corner, but what I've noticed this last week is that balls are trickling by in that corner, which they never used to do.
I think, Gordon Butler, who's been doing the green, he's got it in such a good condition, and it's had so much activity on it, so many feet have been run up and down it, compacting the ground. It's just slick. It's gone very, very slick, very quick, this green now. It's certainly in certain places a lot quicker than people would think, especially the players come here for the qualifying events at the beginning of the year.
Absolutely.
And 1 to Gary. 6-3.
I think he'd go back in the corner now, but nobody's going deep into the corners because I think they're frightened of losing the jack.
And Gary's just waiting. There's actually another end in the corner, which is waiting for an end to be completed. Gary's also one of these. He's not gonna. If he wants to go somewhere and he needs to wait for a minute, he's quite happy to do that. The game is actually waiting to be completed as the end is waiting to be completed as the Jonathan Snedden Damien Morrison game. Damien won just one for game, but Jonathan's had a bit of a comeback. It's 20-18 to Damien Morrison. And Gary's gone. Finger peg.
Yeah, once again, he's kept the jack well out of the corner, about 8 yards out of the corner, trying to keep it on the safe side.
Yeah, it's gone about 5 foot through, Roy.
Yeah,
easy
right.
done there. You normally you've got to make sure you're there, and you do that, and you're just wondering why your bowl's just not stopped.
And it's easy to do exactly what Leighton Roberts has done there, to get it a bit on the low side, and there's no recovery.
Gary's on good land again. He's taking a little bit out of his bowl, but it's still struggled 18-inch past. Leighton can play the same length again, just tacking up slightly. You'd think he'd have a decent chance here of counting the end. Chased after it. Needs to run. Needs to finish. Only for 18 inches or more a run, and he'd have got it. I'm just waiting for there's an end. That's just Gary's, I think, as I say, more than happy to wait for any possible distraction to go. Mm, 7-3 lead for Gary. The result of the last game in the second round is a 21-18 win for Damien Morrison. Good bowler Damien. Jonathan had a couple of good bowls, and he just played extra weight, finger peg, ran the jacks to his back bowl.
Gary's gone a bit further this time, thumb peg right into the pub corner. Jack's about 2 yards on the green.
He'd be happy with that lead of Gary's. Within a foot, if you put a bowl into that corner from that over that distance within a foot, excellent bowl. Good effort from Leighton. He's probably on land would have had a chance of winning that bowl, but he's just pegged 4 foot tight of jack. No, Leighton's in a little bit of trouble here. If Gary counts here, he's going to go possibly 6 clear.
Oh dear, is he short?
A criminal really should. The bowler Leighton's ability will know that you just don't do that. If you are 7-3 down with Gary Ellis, he's got 2 bowls. You can afford to be up. You've got a chance of sitting on either bowl, and you leave it a couple of yards short. Granted, it's over a long distance, and on a green Gary knows well, very well indeed, but Leighton will be thinking that's not the bowl to play. You've got to give your bowl a chance on this green. I say finger peg, Gary, tactics working, no point in changing it.
Yeah, I think what he'll do with this when he's playing about the start of the game, I think the longer he keeps in the corners, the more that he'll break up Leighton Roberts' length.
He's not played a good leader here as Gary. He's got slightly underneath and was maybe a yard too far. Trickle down the hill. Left Leighton quite a bit of room. There's a good effort here from the young man from Wales.
Yeah, he's done well there. He's picked the length out, which is the vitally important part. Gary's inside the line here. Peg out. Chance of 2 here for Leighton Roberts.
He's looking at it. Doesn't look to be a lot wrong with this bowl. Good length again. Good bowls from by the 24-year-old production engineer. Gets them back to 4 behind, 5-9. He's not going to do the thumb peg towards the pub corner. He's gone finger peg across to the pie and pasty stand. He finished a couple of foot short with his first bowl, and Gary, knew he had to pass his bowl to count, and he's probably gone just too far. He's chasing this one in as Leighton. Must think he's got a good chance of being a good bowl. Waving it closer. Waving a good bowl in there. Still finishes 6 to 8 inch short. Gary will look at this and thinking, well, if I hit one, I've got a decent chance of hitting the other. But he has got room to draw. Depends what he fancies the easiest thing to do. He's gone. Same again, finger peg. I don't think he'd be too impressed with himself with that bowl, will Gary?
I think it was a 2 minds ball. I think he was in 2 minds whether or not to strike.
Just 2 behind now, 7-9.
Lady referee on the green watching proceedings.
Evelyn Hastings.
A lady who, in the opinion of most people, including all the players, is the best referee in the game.
If I remember rightly, Evelyn is going to be president of the Ladies Association, Ladies Crown Green Bowling Association next year. The ultimate honour in the ladies' game. See, Evelyn also, Roy, is another one who spent a fair few bowling holidays in Portugal.
Yes, she really enjoyed those. Leighton's coming finger peg here towards the cup, but he's not caught Gary out. Once again, the tremendous green knowledge that he's got has stood him in good stead. Has he a chance with this bowling?
He's corrected well.
What a good ball. Well done, Leighton.
Well, hopefully Gary will look at this. I think, well, I'll tell you what, I'll go the other peg. Air it as hard as I can. And just underneath, one more, back to within a single point. Say Leighton's 24-year-old production engineer. Got a few hobbies running apart from Crown Green bowls. He likes his football, likes his golf. He's using a set of £2.10 Drake's Pride Deluxe. So, I know they're not tailors, Roy. I know they're not the same. There's no need to look disgusted. So, Leighton's previous winner of the World Senior Merit, and obviously he's won this Isle of Man Bowls Festival this year to qualify for this event. I mentioned Leighton's honours because Gary's honours are too numerous to mention unless you've got a programme all of his own. 5 times Waterloo winner, 3 times winner of the Talbot Trophy, 2 times All England champion.
Playing thumb peg here towards the FlowFit sign. Round peg. Bias towards the ditch.
Gary's tight with this. Can't get any closer to the jack now. Probably maybe 18-inch 2-foot short on the land as well. Leighton's after this one, trotting after what he hopes is another good bowl. He's in danger of making a target though. 2 bowls are finishing together.
Another strike coming up.
Hit one. They both must move, you would think. Caught the jack first. quite a wide target there, probably nearly, well, certainly 14, 16-inch target, and he's hit the jack, killed it. We start again. So right in front of the FlowFit banner. FlowFit, of course, are highly regarded in the industry for manufacturing fantastic hydraulic components. If you need them, go to them. I think finger peg back to where they came from. Back towards the bookmakers in the south stand.
Certainly a sensible tactic by Leighton. All uphill. Looks quite good here.
Just trying to drag it in with a bit of shoulder action. Drag it closer. And Gary's walking after this ball, waving it closer. He thinks he might be just a little short, and he's correct. 4 foot short of the jack. Leighton's willing his bowl to get closer. Another good second bowl. Difficult for Gary on finger peg now. Gary found the gap with his strike. Leighton goes in front. Score now, Leighton Roberts 10, Gary Ellis 9. And I can only imagine he's going to go thumb peg, round peg, towards the FlowFit side. Gone slightly different land. There's another end, the Simon Jimmy Hines game, which has really impeded him where he wanted to put the jack, so he's gone slightly tighter. He's actually finished in front of the Sky Bet sign. We would like to see them involved in the offering a betting market for those who want that kind of thing, and they were involved with the Waterloo handicap this week. So Leighton finished a good, well, yard 4 foot short. Gary trying to get his ball past Leighton's, needs it to peg. Two supporters of Gary's in the crowd waving at it, trying to get it a bit closer. Leighton put more in his, he needed that ball to stop. Not convinced it has. Needs to have a look at them. Well, there's room for Gary. He didn't need to know any information apart from the fact he needed a couple of foot in his own bowl. Waving it closer, has it got one? Leighton's kicked that one out, he's conceded one to Gary. Let's just have a look at these bowls, I'm thinking. Yeah, Gary agrees it's only the one. We're back level at 10s. Now Gary be looking, then what do we do here now? He's not got an edge to go on. He's either going to go back to the corners, or he's been playing, well with the last couple of years he's been playing very successful short marks across the middle. But he decided, tactic worked so well early doors. Thumb peg mark towards the corner. It's obviously he's trying to get on what is now famously known as the Ellis edge.
And that's a good lead from Gary. Boulders a lot of bending here. The bias will take it right down together with the slope of the green.
Leighton turned his back on his bowl very quickly. I think he knew it was. He always knew it was too wide from as soon as he let it go, and he had a bit too much pace in it. It's not a wasted bowl because it's obviously still on the green. He can use it if it just moving the jack will go towards his bowl. But Gary's left a kind of like a nuisance bowl with the second. It's counting on one, but it's more in the way than anything else. Needs to stop this bowl of Leighton's. trickled and trickled, and Gary certainly won. One will do. One and Jack. Now we've got an option. Does he go on his edge, or does he return to the tactic that works so well, which is the corners? And the answer is thumb peg. Back towards the pub. They're taking care again, Roy, not to go too far and run the risk of the Jack trickling off.
Yeah, that's right. The Jack's about 3 yards on the green and about 6 yards out of the corner. Quite a safe position. It's all uphill to here.
Good bowler, Gary's perfect length. Maybe a small yard tight to the Jack. Better chance with this bowler, Leighton's, if it stops. Oh, that helped. Now Gary's second bowl needs to run. Not convinced he's there, and he's not. Won't be happy with that. Gary, 43-year-old finance manager. He's got interests away from bowls of being in the gym, which is understandable given his physique, and his horse racing. He's using a set of Thomas Taylor Deluxe £2.11s. I say he's got more honours in the game than just about anybody else playing the game at the present minute. Name a competition, he's probably won it.
Yeah, I think he'll be wishing there. He went in the corner. He's thinking to himself, I wish I'd have gone down round peg down the edge.
Well, that was an option for him. I say Gary's got a couple of marks on here. He plays the corners so well. But he won his 5th Waterloo, just really not playing anything else than to an edge and to the crown and back. Did it successful against Chris Brown in the final.
Leighton Roberts is sticking to this length, about 28 yards. He's playing finger peg, round peg.
Looks happy with this lead. Well supported in the crowd are happy with that. Just a few inches away from the Jack. And Gary's looking at this. Needs to stop. Gone too far. I say he's not a wasted bowl, because it's any kind of movement on the Jack, it's only going to go towards Gary's lead bowl. Leighton's walking after this one. He's too far with this himself, but only one. Now, options for Gary here. Does he try and just tickle the Jack? Did he try and play it? Well, but our friends in the flat green would say a dead bowl. Did he just try and be up on the bowl or Jack, and do that? Played, of course, with consummate skill and enough weight. Hits the connection on the Jack. He was running it 3 for 2. Hits the bowl full on. Knocks it far enough for 2.
Yeah, that was a class ball. That, he had the option of a strike, but much better to play through and count 2, because with a strike you're not sure to count the end.
With a miss, that second bowl of Gary's would probably finished 6 or 7 yards past the Jack, but it did what it had to do. It moved. If it moved the Jack, it was fine. It moved the bowl, and it moved it far enough to get 2.
He's manoeuvring now. He's playing finger peg just underneath the crown. He's manoeuvring, I feel sure. If he gets in here, he'll go round peg up his favourite edge.
He's played finger peg, 13-12 up. Put his lead bowl a yard past the Jack. Good effort here, Leighton's. It's a good reply. And Gary's after this bowl. He might have a chance, this one, He's stopped now because he's realised that he's in danger of going too far. He's actually disgusted with himself because he's took nothing out of his first bowl. Can Leighton get another? He can. And he goes back into the lead, 14-13 up. Could go down to the wire this game, right?
Yeah, I think it's great to see these young lads like Leighton Roberts. I think the modern players, the modern young players, they play a very, very aggressive game. And I think the other thing about them is they're fearless. They don't care who they play, whether it's Gary Ellis or Graham Wilson or Callum Wright, they don't care. They just play the game, and it's great to see that.
Now, he's played thumb peg. Not got a tremendously long distance, and he's finished, what, a yard to the side? Maybe fractionally short of a length. And Gary's bowl stays in. Good bowl from Gary's. Finished, well, a couple of foot away. Can Leighton correct? He's only got to be slightly tighter with his land. That's all he needs, as long as he's there. As long as he's there. And he's not. Now, danger for Gary here is that he doesn't want to run into Leighton's bowl, but if he just plays slightly on the tight side, just make sure he misses the bowl. He can't really knock it in if he's a length. And he's played the same bowl as his first. Counts 2, goes back into the lead. 16-14. So 15-14. Adding up was never my strongest point.
Coming to the critical part of the game now, where they can creep up towards the magic 19, where they're in sight of the final.
See, Gary needs 6 for game, so he thinks, right, if I win the next couple of ends, I'm nearly there. He's played a finger peg mark. It's a quick finish. Willing it closer, but he's finished, well, a couple of foot away at least. Don't think Gary's hugely happy with his game at the present minute. He's not leading as well as, well, somebody of his fantastic ability can. But it's not the easiest of marks, this. He's looking at this again, Gary, and he's got no idea why he's put it there. Body language said, I don't know who sent that. I don't know why I've done it. I know I've done it, but I don't know why I've done it. Right. Leighton had to play tighter than his first. Can he get past his bowl? Can he get past his bowl? No. One more to Gary. 16-14. Now Gary's turned round and he's found the game between Matt Gilmore and Wayne Rogers slightly in his way.
Yeah, I think at that previous end, Gary just decided to give his ball a little bit more, and I think it's fatal. The way the green is at the moment, you have to believe the jack. Take liberties and put the ball outside. It'll stay where it is.
And Gary's he's famous for not sending a ball when he's ready, or even sending the block when he's ready. If he wanted to play a corner mark, go back in the corners, he could have done so, but he got a game he was, shall we say, in his way.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's the right thing to do. As I say, he is very much like a professional player and will take his time.
The finger peg mark. Pegs quite well. Good peg and mark this. But you have to believe the jack at the back. When the jack is pegged, don't stick it too far outside. Certainly don't go narrow, which is what Gary has done. I say a little bit short as well. You won't be happy with that, Gary. Not on this bit of this bit of green. Leighton seen Gary's bowl, so he's just made sure he didn't follow him. He's finished a yard behind. So you have to think Gary's going to beat that bowl. And Gary just waiting for Matt Gilmore to send his bowls. And now He's got an opportunity to send his. He may actually wait for Wayne to send his bowl as well, so that he has nothing in his eye line. After this, Gary pulling it a bit closer, giving it a wave. Yeah, counts. Still 18-inch away.
Leighton won't know, but easiest thing to do there but to go the other peg. The line to the jack is about 6 inches above it.
Has that bowler Leighton stopped in time? That's the question. It has not. Result just been announced. I'll just confirm it. Matt Gilmore has won 21-9. The FlowFit British Senior Merit Champion, going well in the Champion of Champions. So thumb peg mark from Gary here on his edge, as everyone who's seen Gary plays this edge, he knows he plays it very well, especially this way. Anything tight to the jack will peg, and almost certainly peg off the green. It'll be very precise because you're playing almost along the ridge. Stick it outside, it won't come back. That bowler Leighton's actually done quite well to stay on the green. I'm not sure what Gary's done with this. Needs to run. Useful there. Leighton sent this bowl a bit quick, Roy. I can't imagine he should have. Would imagine somebody else would have waited and see if it's 1 or 2, and then may have played at it.
Yeah, absolutely. That is, if I had a criticism to make of some of the young players, I think it is that they send the second bowl far too quickly without considering the various options.
I'm not quite sure what Gary was looking at then, because he had one bowl by the jack which they moved, and his next bowl was at least 18 inches further away than Leighton's first bowl. One more, 18-14. Gary only requires 3 for victory. Finger peg mark on his edge to the corner of the north stand. He likes this, does Gary? He's better lead than last time.
Yeah, in order to correct his line to the jack, he's actually standing on the mat, facing out, so that he won't narrow the ball. Very, very good tactics, that.
There's quite a few people who've heard the words Ellis standing on the mat and I've gone, really? I say the tactic that's not often used now is people like how they position themselves on the mat, which either side of it and angle off it.
It's a very, very important feature of the game. It can make a tremendous amount of difference. Difference between winning and losing, a difference between counting the end. It's because if you play a narrowed bowl, you're always going away from the jack.
Well, Leighton's done well there. He's got Gary off this mark. He's got a single point out of it. 3 points behind, 15-18. Somewhere new. Not actually much of a change in the length of jack. Of course, we're always grateful for any feedback you can give us over the commentary, and I've been reliably informed by Katrina Cayley that her friends who are watching this programme are thinking that she's shouting at the top of her lungs. Granted, she normally does do this. However, I've been reliably informed by Katrina this is not her doing it this time. It is Melanie. It's all Melanie's fault. Katrina is, of course, a sweet and innocent girl who's never done a thing wrong in her life. Well, Leighton won't be happy with that second bowl.
Yeah, he played it inside the line to avoid hitting Gary's ball, and of course I suspect he didn't want to go the other peg for fear he'd show Gary the way, although Gary would probably know the way anyway.
I think Gary's probably wondering how his second bowl has gone through the gap between his own bowl and the jack and not hit either. One more to Leighton, 16-18. Finger peg mark from, well, towards the road edge, the road stand, the east stand here at the Waterloo. He's wanting this to run a bit more. Not sure he'll be terribly impressed with that lead. Yeah, good ball from Gary. Stepped in, given an opportunity. But the way the bowl and jack have finished, he's got, if Leighton's there, you would think he's got a target to rest on. However, he isn't. And to be honest, there's not a lot of danger here from Gary. Gary can afford to be brave with his second bowl. He can't make it any worse. He can't knock Leighton in. If he disturbs anything, he's only going to count 2. Of course, Gary being Gary, he's put one within 6 inches of the jack with the second bowl. Counts 2, goes all but. And now just needs one more point for victory, 20-16 up.
I think it's a very creditable performance from Leighton Roberts. I think the only difference in the game, apart from the ability of Gary, is that he's got such tremendous knowledge. Leighton's giving the green away, there's no question about that.
Of course, with Gary, go back to the corner he knows so well. Because if Leighton has to fire and hit this bowl, then what he's going to do, well, the jack is not that far from the edge, so Gary, if needs must, will take a no end and send the jack again next time. Hopefully he's trying to play a good lead, put pressure on Leighton, and he's finished a yard to far. Okay, on conclusion of this game, we'll go straight over to another one of the quarterfinals that are on the green. Gary's doing everything to get this bowl in apart from kick it. But there's room for Leighton if he can correct from his first bowl. And I don't think he's there. One to Gary, thank you very much. Gary Ellis, 21-16 winner. Now we're going to go straight over to another game. This is the Cookson against Damien Morrison quarter-final. Damien's second bowl runs the jack. So Gary Ellis will play Matt Gilmore in the semi-final. I say this game, so number 28 is Glenn Cookson, and he leads Damien Morrison by 9 points to 7. Thanks to my trusty binoculars, because the old eyes are not as good as they used to be. Damien's gone finger peg. He's hopefully asked Gary for permission to use his edge mark. Finished a couple of yards short, and Glyn stepped in with a 2-foot reply. Not a good bowler, Damien's. He's not really well, he's not corrected at all. You would think this should be an easy 2 for Glyn. Bit of a different mark from Glenn. I say Glenn knows this green extremely well. 58 years of age now is Glenn. Sending him out with Jack out, finger peg. Looking at this, well, good length, but it's a yard to the side. Room for the 42-year-old Damien Morrison from Warrington. He would have had a good bowl if he'd had reached. There's not wrong with his land, a fair bit wrong with his length. That's the room for Glenn. Correct his land slightly. He's got 2 bowls within a yard. So can Damien correct his first bowl? Got a chance with this, if it runs again. Good effort from Damien. Saved. 1 more to Glenn Cookson, makes him gets him to 12.
Back into corner goes Glyn, playing finger peg, just underneath the ground. Got the jack quite near the edge now.
Looking at it, Glenn, he thinks he may have sent one. If he's far enough, he has, but I think he's a bit surprised how short that bowl's finished. He stood on the middle of the green, hands on hips, thinking, how's it finished 2.5, 3 yards off? Damien tried to step in. If it stopped it, to couldn't. Well, it's stopped now because a white board stopped it. Glyn now trying to correct. Put a couple of yards in his bowl. So he's past his face, but he's left Damien a bit of room. Damien was thinking, now just take a yard at me face, can't lose. And he has. Good bowl from Damien. So his first bowling he's really just trickled off, and anything a couple of foot yard out of it could do nothing other than win the end. Now that's 12-8 lead to Glyn. Damien's had finger peg mark up the road edge. if this jack stays on. If this jack stays on. That jack has not stayed on. Now, giving the jack back to Glyn to set and set the mark. I can only imagine that Glyn's going to go a distance again.
Yeah, big mistake that from Damien. If he wants to go up that side, he should have made sure of keeping the jack on. But gives Glyn a chance now to set the mark. As you rightly say, he'll come finger peg right through the centre of the green, coming up towards the cup corner. All uphill to this position.
What can Damien do with this lead? Well, 4-foot pass, not the worst effort in the world, that.
At least he reached, that's one thing. This is a good line from Glyn.
If he just drops anchor now, it's a good one. Thankfully, Damien's ball was there to stop it. Damien's thinking, just take a yard out again, I'll have a good one. And he has. A good length ball from Damien, a couple of foot away. So Glyn will be thinking the same. Now don't need to change anything apart from take a couple of, well, a yard or a couple of foot out of his bowl. He's not really here. He'd be a bit disappointed with that, Glyn, I think.
Yep, he will, and Damien's quite happy. He can lead the jack now and make sure that he keeps the jack on. I don't know where he'll go from here, though.
Well, he's only 3 behind. He's
still in the game.
Can't imagine he's going to take Glyn a great distance.
Interesting now, going down towards the north stand, down to the faster part of the green.
Then actually, when this green is in good condition and cut down, it becomes apparent that there are a couple of ridges. One in particular that Tim Horton used to great success in his triumph on Wednesday. And this is a quick mark, and nothing for outside. If you're not a length, if you go outside, it'll just keep on wandering off on its own. I say if you try and cut the land, you'll peg off this ridge and you'll peg a couple of yards tight. It's a tricky mark to play. So good leader Damien to make Glyn pass it, and obviously by doing so he's obviously obscured the jack from Glyn's view, and it's gone a yard past. Although, to be honest, Damien will not be impressed and shouldn't be impressed with that second bowl that he's played, because that is a loose bowl. Options now for Glyn. He can try and take a couple of foot, maybe a yard out of his first bowl, and just slide by on a length to count. Just asked Damien how far his counting bowl is. And finger peg again from Glyn. Can he take the required distance out of his first bowl? And the answer is no. One more to Damien. Gets him to double figures. 12-10.
He's playing not too far, only about 25 yards. Thumb peg uphill to this part of the green.
A quick update on the other quarter-final still in the green is between Jimmy Hines and Simon Kelp. And Simon Kelp leads 17-9.
Damien's come to the other peg here. He's come finger peg. Just gone out.
Sorry, I had that score wrong. I need to put my glasses on. Simon's 17-9 down with Jimmy Hines, who, to be fair, has played very well all day. And 2 good bowls there from Glenn. Takes his lead to 4.
Back down in the corner, finger peg, keeping the jack well in the green this time, only playing about 26 yards here.
I say the middle's been well known in this green lately, that the middle of the green is quite quick. Obviously a lot of players walking on it all through the season, especially this week. So easy to send the bowl that Damien's done, which is a couple of yards too far. I say the North Lanxon file contingent in the crowd are looking at their favourite, Simon Cope, 18-9 down to Jimmy Hines. And in the game we're covering, we've got a very good bowl from Damien Morrison. He's managed to take the 4 yards out of his bowl, play one to within 6 inches. So Cookson could easily have gone 16-10 ahead. Now he's only leads by only 3. 14-11 to Glyn. And Damien's played a similar length here, Roy.
Yeah, he's cut it down just a little bit and playing just underneath the crown, playing finger peg. Just on the tight side.
Don't think he'd be greatly impressed with that lead that he's played there. See, most bowlers are perfectionists. They don't play a lead bowl within 6 inches. There's something wrong with the world. Good effort of Damien's, but just trickled through the gap. Barely touched the jack, but it's not enough to stop it. Opportunity for Glyn to get 2 here. Now, good ball from Glyn. Damien kicks them in. 2 more. 5 lead for Glyn Cookson now, 16-11.
Trying the corner once again. Going a different peg this time. Going thumb peg. Quite deeper into the corner.
So looking at it, Glyn, if it stops now, it's a good one. Nice touch on the jack helped. He's got a bowl into the toilet corner to within a foot away from the jack. Damien's looking at it. He's actually too far, and that extra weight just stopped his bowl pegging to make contact with Glyn's. So Damien will look now as his first bowl has gone off the green while Glyn's bowl was halfway across. He's got problems here now. Although Glyn's not playing a good second bowl, he counts 2. And this bowl looks tight to me, Roy.
It's definitely inside the line. Its only chance is to stop a dead length.
Running into the jack helped. It fell over the right way as well, and it wins. Turned out well for Damien, so you could quite easily have missed the jack, and you'd been wondering what would it have stopped to even save. And Damien's decided to head along the edge. He's played a finger peg mark, and that, so it's what on greens with a bigger crown would be a fallen peg mark, but obviously it's pegged off the ridge. And he's finished about a couple of foot, maybe a yard underneath. Good length. Glenn just goes past, goes out. Can Damien play another good one? I'd be happy with that. Well, happy-ish with that. Not the greatest smiler in the game as Damien. What can Glyn do with this? Almost too far again. One to Damien Morrison, one more to the 42-year-old building cleaner with Warrington Borough Council. Bit of a change to stay clear of the corner. He's gone off front peg, but not gonna. He's gone towards the pub corner, but he's nowhere near the pub corner. He's playing what? 26, 27 yards, right?
Yeah, that's about right. He's playing right through the centre of the green. Very good lead.
Good ball from Glyn, though. Nice touch on the jack. And Damien's played at it, had to be there, of course, had to give his bowl a chance. Any connection on Glyn's bowl at that pace would have made him count, but just missed. Chance for Glyn to get two. Nice touch on Jack and also his bowl on the way. Two more. That puts Glyn Cookson to within 3 points of victory. Leads 18-13. In the other game, Simon Cowp now back to within 3. 18-15 behind to Jimmy Hines. Glyn's thinking, what should I do with this jack now? Do I go to the corner? Do I play a short mark, which he's played so well so far today?
I think he's tempted to go in the north stand corner, you know, but nobody's played really good bowls in that corner during the last few days.
Yeah, finger peg mark.
He's certainly on the low side. He's hoping that the bias will take effect now, bring it up towards the jack. Very good, excellent. That's exactly what it did.
Very good lead from Glyn. Obviously, where the jack is, it's not. It's pegged to the west stand side of the corner. It's one of those quick finish past the jack. All downhill now. I suppose Damien had to be there. He wasn't gonna count with playing a short bowl.
Same line for Glyn. Perfect road.
Now, good ball from Glyn. There's kind of a target there, but wait, bowl, still looking at it. Just missed. Needed to hit that. He needed to hit it really. Two more for Glyn. Goes all but 18-13 up. He's under all kinds of pressure now as Damien. Can't afford to let Glyn score again. And you realise, Roy, ever since we started mentioning the other game how well Jimmy Hines was doing, Simon's only let him score one more. We mentioned it at 17-9 and it's now 18-16.
Glyn going thump peg now into this, well, just only about 5 yards past the centre of the green. Hoping to get a lead, a good lead. Just about a yard off.
He's not impressed with that, Glyn. He's probably thinking good lead for game, and what he's done is just, well, he's played a ball he's disappointed with. He's given Damien room, and Damien's played one, and it's countered. I'll say there's room still for Glyn. He's got to pass his own, obviously. 2 foot on his face, you would imagine, will be enough to win. But I say he's not really reached the jack again, and he's stuck out a little bit. He's given Damien room now to get 2.
I feel sure he'd have been far better going further into the corner. Another 10 yards on that jack.
I've always thought one of the particular skills that I would say all the top players will have, and in particular I would say Glyn Cookson, is his jack placement. If he wants to put the jack to within, 3 yards of a corner, Glyn is one of the players I would say you could guarantee he will do that. If he's settled on a mark, he can put the jack to within a few feet of that point of the green time and time again.
Yeah, watching a lot of the players, especially some of the younger players, I feel it's a lost art. But it's all down to practicing with on your own. You're practicing leading all the time, and you're practicing placing the jack. Very, very important, because you put the jack in some very difficult places where you don't need to get touches to count.
Actually, my formative years as a player was spent in the company of somebody you'll know, Roy, Flash Harry Smith, God rest his soul. That was one of the things Harry used to say to me: be careful, concentrate as much as when you're sending the jack as when you're sending your bowl.
Yeah, he was a very good shooter, Harry. Fine player, very, very good player, and I would imagine he'd be perfect for someone like yourself to show you the correct way to play.
When I was in the Walton Park team at that time, that included Dave Barrett, Derek Bellis, Colin Martlew, Flash Harry Smith, Colin Trousdale, who's somebody you'll know well as well, Roy.
Yeah, former Bassmasters winner.
Damien left 2 there. Back to within 4 points, 16-20. So Jimmy Hines. A roar from the crowd as Jimmy struck corner to corner. Knocked Simon's bowl off. 1 to Jimmy Hines. He leads now Simon Cobb 19-17 in the other remaining quarter final. And Damien's gonna almost somewhere each game will start today, right in front of the scoreboards. Finger peg to Mark Glyn will know very well, actually. Finger peg towards the pub. One of those marks, got to be there. Any mark towards the pub, you've got to make sure you're there. Damien's put 1 a yard past, and Glyn's thinking, oh, he's left me with the side of the jack, I can play a good one here, and Glyn's 4 foot short. And what Damien's classic mistake here, Damien's, he's made his lead go a yard past. So he's tried to take a yard out, and what he has done, he may have got another, but he's left his ball alongside Glyn's is 2 yards short.
He's put some in.
Good ball there, Glyn's. One more for Glyn. That makes him game. That makes him the winner, 21-16. And in the other quarter-final, which is also just finished, we have a result. Jimmy Hines has counted 2 at the last end. He beat Simon Cobb 21-17. The entire county of North Lancashire will have a stunned look on their face for the rest of the day. And we are going to go to a commercial break where we thank the people who have done so much to make these programmes possible by showing commercials. So just going to go up to them and we'll be back in a few minutes. Well, we just welcome back to the Waterloo Bowling Green for the 2016 BCGBA FLOWFIT Champion of Champions. We're just having a quick presentation. All season there's been a ranking table called the Arthur Land Player Rankings Table. This has been sponsored by the fantastic chaps at Bowls Comps, who are a new venture who are introducing 21st century technology into the bowls world by allowing you to enter competitions and like you do your normal online shopping. Find a competition you want to enter, put it in your shopping basket and pay for it on the way out. The gentleman with the microphone is Mr. Brian Hampson, well known to most people who've been to the Waterloo and other events. He's does an awful lot of work, does Brian, and one of his jobs this year has been to get the competition results. There's been an awful lot of competitions and he's done an awful lot of hard work. If you go on the British Crown Green website, you will find the ranking table, and if you go through all the competition results, and you may even find yourself, or I know I'm on there somewhere. I've bantered them down in the hundreds, but I'm there somewhere. I say Brian's been doing all the analysis, doing all the calculations, and we have a winner, the inaugural player ranking table, actually named after Arthur Land, who's, I think just about everybody involved in the game of Crown Green Bowls will know has done an absolutely fantastic job. Over the years he's got his website, he's used to run the Arthur Land diary, which used to be a must for everybody who used to want to enter competitions. It had every competition in the country. You used to get monthly updates at the end of the year. It was at nearly 2 inches thick of competitions. And the winner of the player ranking table, quite a clear winner, seeing that he's won off the competitions that would have qualified him to get here, including the Greater Manchester Merit, the Cleckheaton Sports Classic, the Hillcrest Classic, the Navigation and Railway Open, the Spen Masters Classic and the Talbot Trophy, is Gary Ellis. And Gary's there, smiling for the camera. So the two gentlemen are Chris Lambert and Stuart Medden. Stuart known as obviously as the Fat Boy. Those two gentlemen do an awful lot of work. They've set up the player ranking table. They've set up the bowlscomps.com. Enter competitions. Brian's just getting a photo. We'll have a chat with them later, hopefully. They've done an awful lot of work, Gary has, to win the competition, and it's been surpassed by the work of Chris and Stuart and Brian to get this venture off the ground. So congratulations to all of them. Because if you want to enter the competitions here at the Waterloo next year, they are all on the Bowls Comps website. Well, welcome back to the Waterloo for the semi-finals of the BCGBA FLOWFIT British Senior Merit. The semi-final game we are covering is between two of the best players we have in this game of ours. Gary Ellis, multiple winner of just about everything, against this year's FLOWFIT British Senior Merit champion Matt Gilmore from Wallasey. Gary, 43-year-old finance manager, against the 41-year-old information manager, or deputy information manager. Matt using a distinctive pair of red coloured bowls. Started off playing finger peg mark straight up the middle of the green towards the north stand. Sorry, from the north stand to the south stand, towards the pub. And Matt counts one first end. This, Roy, should be a good game you're going to have here.
Yeah, he's been very impressive over the last few years, Matt Gilmore, hasn't he? He played for Cheshire for quite a while, and of course now he plays for Merseyside. But he's always been a very good competitor. Puts a lot of effort into his game and runs after his balls quite a lot. Very motivated. Playing right down the middle of the green now, playing towards the north stand. Fast finishing part of the green, playing thumb peg. Playing about 28 yards.
I say Matt will have an experienced player, someone of just 41 years of age. He's played this green a number of occasions. Obviously the previous winner of the Junior Waterloo back in the day. Thumb peg down towards quick finishing mark down towards the north stand, and Gary couldn't get past Matt's first bowl. Matt's played a good second. I think Gary would have weighed up the possibility, what are the odds of my getting past those bowls and stopping by the jack, compared to what are the odds of me hitting both bowls off, and he's chose the latter and he's just missed. Well, Matt will be quite happy. 2 ends gone, 3 points scored.
Back through the centre of the green, playing finger peg towards the cup. Both players will know that it's uphill to here, just a case of finding the line to the jack.
Another good bowl from Matt. Good length, just a foot to the side. One of those slightly annoying leads where you can't really be up at it, because if you hit the gap you've gone a yard past. Gary, of course, used that bowl, bounced off it, finishes a side toucher. And Matt's trying to play a similar bowl. Take a couple of yards of running. Will it peg onto the bowl? Oh, he's unlucky with that. Almost perfect. But just glance Gary's bowl. Slightly thicker contact would have sprung Gary's bowl out.
It's a good effort. The only thing is it's left Gary with a good chance of 2.
Of course, Gary's one of these, like so many top players in the game. He can have a bit of a scratchy ride to the business end of the competition, and then all of a sudden, you know, semi-final, final, ups his game, goes up a gear. More than capable of doing it, but there again, so is Matty.
I recall a friend of mine telling me that he played in a competition at Woolston, Warrington, just over a week ago, and he should have been out 3 times. He lost. He managed to claw his way back into victory. Played awful in all of those 3 rounds, and then in the final, he demolished Tommy Johnson 21-6, and that's the kind of thing that can happen.
You see finger peg mark that Gary's played here. Played an awfully good lead. And it was evident in his last game that Gary wasn't playing that type of lead. He was leaving a bit of room for his opponent to get in, and he didn't in that game. But
he's going
he's going down. What Gary's almost famous for, he's going down to have a look. You can tell Gary you've got, someone's inches short, feet short. He'll go down and have a look, just decide what's the best thing to do.
He'll just look at the angles and see what would happen if he touches the ball onto the jack and where the jack would go to. It's almost like a flat green scenario where you go up to find out where the jack will spring to.
So what he's also doing is that if I don't do anything and Matt plays a bit of weight at it, where would the jack go? So if he decided there isn't room to get another, he will find out the best placed bowl that he can find to make it difficult for Matt, or to make sure that he counts if Matt hits, or he'll just play a short one. One more to Gary, And we are back as we started with a level game. Of course, this event is famous for gathering amongst the biggest crowds that we can have. The Waterloo and the British Senior Merit, part of the Triple Crown and the 3 honours that we have, and they always attract a great crowd. And of course, who can resist a weekend in Blackpool?
Gary's gone quite a long way here, right down into the pub corner, playing thumb peg. He's not too bad, just about a yard off.
What can Matty do about this leader Gary's? He's looking at it. If it pegs, it's a good one. Pegs round Gary's bowl. Stops in for me. From what we can see from our commentary position. Gary's just got to pass his own. Has just passed his own. If it pegs, if it stops now, it's a good one. Has it stopped in time though? I think Matt will want to know what's happened with that second bowl. What was evident there that Gary's bowl didn't quite peg as well as Matty's did. Matty's on. Going for another. He's wide with this. This won't do anything. One more to Matt. 4-3. There's Matt just cutting the green in half. Finger peg. Pub corner towards the west stand.
Yeah, it's playing about 28 yards here. Just a little bit uphill.
Like so many marks on the Waterloo, you're thinking to yourself, don't go outside Jackland. So you try and play just maybe half a bowl inside Jackland, and it's just pegged more than Matty would have thought. Matty's decided to strike at this.
I am surprised at that. I thought he'd play because if he misses, he gives him a chance of 2.
I'm not doubting the decision of a player of Matty's ability, but it does surprise me that he chose that option. He had a good length with his face, he only had to correct the land slightly.
That's how you get punished.
Yeah. To me, the bowl would have been put a little bit in the weight that he used for his first bowl, and just really try to sit on either jack or bowl. Played a very aggressive second, and well, it didn't work out.
Yeah.
Hopefully this actually sends Gary into the lead, 5-4.
Going down into the corner now, playing the difficult peg, playing finger peg.
And what is evident that Gary's played, his placement of the jack is just about to the end of the north stand, which is obviously on his edge. That is his jack placement would be, if he wins this end, obviously huge if.
Once again, the ball's flown past the jack there. It's definitely quickened up in that part of the green this week.
And Matty's played a good one. No, Gary's not happy. He's taking too much out of this. Matty really should be counting 2 here. He's not got a huge amount to do to count 2. 2 for Matty, goes back in front, 6-5. Yeah, good 2 from Matty there to go 6-5 up. Obviously not wanting to take Gary on his edge, so he's gone finger peg towards the commentary position, finger peg towards the shop.
Yeah, just underneath the crown, all uphill to here. Needs a good finish.
They're even trickling on there, Roy.
Yeah, yeah. Perfect line to the jack. Just wants a length now.
Good length to Gary's. Matty just asked who's on. Referee trots over. Indicates Gary's at the count and bowl. He's running after this at a fair old lick, is Matty. He puts down jogging as one of his hobbies, and you can believe that. Matty likes his.
Carries a much tighter line.
There's something wrong with this. This surely can't reach.
No.
I'd be disappointed with that one, Gary.
Yep.
Didn't give his bowl a chance, and that you don't often hear that said. And one more to Matt, 7-5. If Gary agrees, of course, that Matty is on. Update from the other game. Glenn Cookson's got off to a good start in his game semi-final against Jimmy Hines. 6-1 he leads.
Matt's decided to go a little bit further, going towards the end of the north stand there, playing thumb peg, all downhill. He's got a little bit low with this.
A couple of yards short, and the ball was always just underneath. He was always trying to fight to get back on the land, but doesn't seem to do it there. Gary's played a bit tighter. He's disappointed with it, but no one's on really. You imagine players of the ability that these two have got will stick a bowl in, beat those two first bowls.
It's a better road, length wanted.
Good bowl, Gary's. As part of the community service we offer, Roy, we'll just give a quick update for those people watching the broadcast who are missing football results. I draw particular attention to the fact that Liverpool are playing quite well the present minute, and they are leading. I'll try and keep everybody updated with Liverpool's score since we're in front. Quick, Liverpool leading Hull 4-1. I'll keep on saying that. I quite like reading that out, to be honest. Everton getting beat by Bournemouth. I'll keep reading that out as well. I quite like reading that out. Tottenham are leading at Middlesbrough. Sunderland are up against Sunderland are winning, Roy. I've not said that very often. And you'll like this one, Swansea drawing with Man City. You'll like that one.
Fancy that.
Yeah. We offer this community service. We're quite happy to read football results out when Liverpool are winning. We don't. If Liverpool aren't winning, we won't read them out. Well, Jack ended up in the ditch. Replay the end. Score: Gilmore 7, Ellis 6. Ellis on his edge. Finger peg. Edge of the north stand. After this is Gary. He's not a setting a bad one, you know. Finished, well, a small yard off. Matt obviously got to pass it, but he stuck out a little bit. Needs to peg for England now. May have done it. It's hard to tell from our position. Camera work obviously got a much better view than we have, and you're seeing at home that bowler Matt stuck out. Gary's going for 2. Yeah. Gary indicates quite handily for us that he thinks he's line 2 with that. Decision for Matt. Does he play weight or the peg? He does. Saves with it. Hit full connection on Gary's short bowl. With one more for Gary. We're back, a nice level game, 7 across. No prizes for guessing where Gary's going to send this. Thumb peg. Nice peg and mark. Very, very difficult finish. Very quick finish where the jack is going to be. If it stays on, which it doesn't. Oh, Gary's made a mistake there. That mark that he plays, it's normally quite a slow finish to where they've just played to, and a quick finish pegging off a ridge. And Gary's fell into the trap. Just gone too close to the dike. And Matty now has a chance to change the mark. Finger peg. I say it's not really much of a difference in the length of the mark that they're looking to play, but obviously this one's all uphill. Just past the crown of the green. Both bowls, couple of foot off. Gary, always the professional, just wants to know if Matt's bowler's done enough to. Referee, I don't know, so I couldn't tell anything about him, but he indicates that Matty's bowler's on. And Gary trots after this one, so he's only really just got to beat his own bowl to count. And it's laboured. May not have done that, you know. Gary's just checking for Matty. Yeah. Gary indicates Matty's on as well. Thumb peg mark from Matty. Quick mark this, Roy.
Yeah, he's got a good one here, you know. Brilliant, very, very good lead.
Finished 10 inch short.
Yeah. He's somewhere about, you know.
Not the worst effort this from Gary. What a good effort that is.
Yeah.
He may have been a tad unlucky because his bowls fell away from the jack. It stayed in, and referee indicates that Gary's bowl has won.
What does he do now?
I said they're slightly obstructed now by Glyn Cookson's lead bowl in the other game, in the other semi-final. Matty's made sure he's there at this. Made sure he's there, he's played a good one, you know. What a good bowl that is. Yeah. All the pressure on Gary. Because neither bowl's a long way away from that jack.
Yeah, he's just got to wait for that short ball of the other end to be moved, because although he probably wouldn't hit it, it's in his eye line.
That other game is a lead of 11-1 for Glyn Cookson in his game against Jimmy Hines. Now got to be careful with the weight as Gary. Has he reached? Has he reached? Reached enough to save. Thumb peg mark for Matty. Back over the middle of the green. So he only just passed the crown again. Uphill. Another good lead. And Matt's just going to keep the pressure on Gary. He's 2 points clear. Keep playing lead like that. It won't be difficult to beat. And counts 2.
Yeah, so Gary's got to try and save. That's all he can do.
He's looking at it. He's almost got the jack, you know. Oh, what an excellent ball that was.
Very brave ball that, you know, Steve. You could easily have left 2 and miss.
Well, he's gone from being potentially 4 behind to being a level game again. 9 across. The voice you may have heard in the background is the British Crown Green Bowling Association's competition officer, John Coxell, just announcing a score update for the crowd in today. A very large crowd, obviously a very boisterous crowd here at the Waterloo for the FlowFit Champion of Champions.
Gary's gone thumb peg here into the east stand corner. Downhill finish.
Good bowler, Matty. It would have gone a yard past without that block being in the way.
Gary's gone the other way now. Gone finger peg.
Tight. Won't be happy with that. Not troubling anything that really. A bit wayward for Gary. Matty trying to lean his bowl in to get another, but it was always too far on the outside. One more puts Matty into double figures.
We're in finger peg now, right through the centre of the green, playing about 26 yards, all uphill.
He thought briefly about running after that ball, try and get it closer, but it was always condemned to be a couple of yards short.
Gary's come the other way, come thumb peg. Can it stay?
He was always concerned he gave that too much to do, and well, he's certainly gone past the jack, but it's a lot closer than Matt's bowl.
And Matt's followed him. Matt's gone thumb peg as well.
It's easy to go too far with that bowl, and I think that's what Matty's done. Matty picks his short bowl up, knowing that's not going to trouble the scorer, and he knows that this bowl Gary's gets another. Puts Gary in front, 11-10. The little feature we are seeing here, Roy, is that neither player can actually keep hold of the jack and get a run with it at the present minute.
Absolutely right.
And obviously these players of this ability, it's always going to be difficult to get a runner with the jack against them. They just are that good.
I think it's just got to go a little bit further with the jack and chance it. Just go a little bit further towards the edge of the green.
Everything lately has been played over a similar length.
Yeah. Thumb peg here. Down towards the north stand. Downhill finish.
So easy to go a yard past, which is what Gary's done. Shaking his head. And Matt's, well, one, played a good bowl there, as Matty. Gary's, I think, has he played for the tickle the jack? Has he played to tickle the jack? And well, he's tickled it, but not the right way. Just trail on the jack, get two. Probably thought that was an easier bowl than trying to almost play a dead one. So Matty just got to be careful he doesn't make contact with the jack himself, because Gary has got a back bowl.
He's going the other way, going finger peg.
Well, should be fairly safe. He'd be an awfully difficult bowl to play to knock Gary in or knock the jack to Gary. After he spent that much time thinking about it and wondering what to do, he's played short and we're back level. The game obviously first to 21, and really in effect now isn't first player to score the next 10 points.
Matt's playing thumb peg up towards the cup. Definitely all uphill to this position. Played about 5 feet short.
Can Gary pass it? Nope, knocked it a good one now. That'll be hard to beat. He was always slightly on the inside with Gary. He had a good length, but he was always slightly on the inside and ran into the back of Matt's bowl.
Yeah, watching the bowls go, I think Gary's just a little bit stronger in bias than Matt. Matt can go a little bit straighter.
The bowls Matt's using a set of Thurstons, £2.12. And unless you're watching in black and white, you can be able to tell that Matt's using a set of red bowls. Slightly fortunate connection from Gary. He certainly wasn't to hit that bowl, but he has hit it and he saved off it. So it's one more to Matt Gilmore. Thumb peg, almost back to where they came from, right?
Yep. Well, it's worked for him the last time they went down here, so why not? Seems a good tactic to me.
He'd have wished that bowl was 5 foot further. He gave that much room for Gary to get in. He's played a good bowl. Still small, a couple of foot away. Room for Matty here, but he's not going to be happy with this. This is
on the low side.
It's a bit of a wayward bowl that from Matty. He'd be quite happy to forget about that one and get on with the next end. You would think there should be a fairly routine 2 for Gary. Two more for Gary Ellis. Gary Ellis 13, Matt Gilmore 12. Interesting what Gary will do. Will he try it? You know, he's got a couple of places he can go to. Will he go along the edge, the road edge? No, famed for being the heavier edge on the green. Will he try corners? Because Gary is very good as well. If a tactic's not working, he won't try and persevere with it. He'll try something different. And he's going to get another throw of the jack here because Jimmy Hines has just kicked it. Quick update from the other game. It's a bit of an easy game for Glyn Cookson so far, 15-4. So finger peg mark from Gary, road edge.
Yeah, definitely all uphill here. It's a good catching out mark. It's 2 yards heavier coming to where they are now.
I think what catches so many bowlers out, being a finger peg mark towards along that edge. The jack does seem to, he almost seems to the jack peg a bit, and you think it's quite almost fairly quick. Score update from the football. Liverpool scored a 5th. Now, good ball from Gary. Finger peg. Give Matty an option. He's obviously got the furthest bowl. And Matty come the other way. Straight peg towards it. Trying to trail the jack. Missed. 2 for Gary. All of a sudden, 15-12. 3 in front.
Gary playing thumb peg now. Round peg down the edge of the green. This is a very, very good mark. I used to play on this mark an awful lot myself because I followed Vernon Lee. Vernon Lee used to play up this edge. And a player like Vernon Lee, nothing wrong with copying him.
If you're going to copy anybody, Roy, you copy a good one. You're not many better in here than Vernon Lee over the years.
Yeah.
Did you run after them as well, like Vernon did?
No. I just wafted him instead.
You know, waft? You're not allowed to do that these days, or wafter, Roy.
Is that so?
Yeah, you get shouted at these days for wafting your bowls.
Yeah, he's caught him out, definitely. It's 2 yards quicker going this way, and if you give the balls any land, they'll stick back.
Remember my first visit to this venue? Well, a number of years ago. I won't even like to guess at the number. The late great Charlie Tattersall took pity on a poor tourist from Liverpool on his first visit to the green, and said, if you're there and you're playing down from the pub down that edge, be careful of your weight. It'll go 5 foot further than you think it's going to go.
Yeah, good advice that.
So Charlie Tattersall, one of the legendary figures of the Waterloo, much missed gentleman who used to grace us with his presence and his expertise up the green.
Gary's stopped the jack a little bit shorter this time. Still uphill from where they are.
Needs to run a bit more to be a real good one. Finished a yard off. Matty, he's not happy playing finger peg. No, it's not this way. Matty just switched like his 3rd time now. He's just played straight at it. And obviously the ball's not travelling as far. It's a little bit quicker to play it actually straight peg than finger.
Yeah, it is.
But Gary's got another. He lies 2 to go 19. the other semi-final, Cookson now only needs one more point for victory. And in the semi-final that we're covering, a really good bowl from Matt Gilmore, needed that. It was 5 behind, Gary line 2 to go to 19 and 7 clear. But Matt played one, found a good length bowl, straight peg at it. Leads the jack out, 13-17.
Playing finger peg, about 27 yards here. Just underneath the crown. Uphill.
Good lead that. That'll look closer than it is. Look close on the mat that. Not easy to beat. It's only 2 foot off, but it's a quick 2 foot. Looking at Gary's body language there, he had no idea at all if he'd sent a good one. He didn't know whether to say to run away or stop. But what he had done was actually send an absolute cracker of a ball.
Yeah, it's a good reply.
Matt's chasing after this one. Needs to peg. Needs to peg. If he pegged it, it would have been a good one. And Gary has a bowl for game, eh? Well, a bowl to go 19 rather. He can be afford to be brave at it because he can't really do any damage.
No, it's back enough.
The only real danger was to be a yard too far onto Matty's short bowl. He obviously made sure he wasn't going to do that. But he's got one on the jack. Needs 3 more for game, 18-13 up. A thumb peg mark. It's not a mark that's really played an awful lot, this one. It's tricky mark, tricky for pace, especially the way this corner's been playing. Because normally you're bowling this way, you know you've got to make it. You've got to get your bowler a chance to get to the jack. But with this corner being playing a lot quicker this year, we're catching a lot of players out, it's finishing quite well. Gary was a yard short with his lead. Matty was a yard short with his a yard too far with his reply, but the block was in the way. Gary needs to put a couple of yards in his face now. If he's reached. Should be a fairly easy 2 now for Matty. I say he can't really do much damage unless he's played a silly bowl. Stuck it on the safe side, just play for a length on the side. Matty is absolutely stunned that hasn't pegged. He'd be more stunned to find that it's just actually rolled off the green as well. 1 to Matty, 14-18.
Like a bit further this time.
Thumb peg mark, Roy.
Yep. First part's right.
He's still walking after it. Not a lot wrong with this.
Good ball. Good ball, lad.
Listen for the click. Again, he's still looking after this bowl. Still looking after it. You've seen how tight it's gone.
Yeah, just narrowed.
Matthew's jogging after this one. So the only danger about putting too close a second bowl is that it gives Gary little option really, but to launch one at it.
Yeah, he'll strike at these.
Incoming. Gets one out. Saves with it. Good hit from Gary over that distance. 15-18. Matt Gilmore will lead out now. Change of tactic from Matty last end, and he's doing the same again. Previously, when the game was so tight and they were swapping points, what happened is they were playing a very similar length, only about barely 30 yards. Obviously, different time of the game now, different pressure on the game, and going a lot further. Thumb peg mark, more about a mark Gary would normally play, really.
Yep, played a good one.
The other semi-final has been completed, and it's a win for Glyn Cookson. 21-7 win over Jimmy Hines. So Glyn Cookson is the first person through to the final of the FlowFit British Champion of Champions. Will he be joined by this year's FlowFit British Senior Merit winner? Touch aggressive with his second bowl. Didn't want to make a connection with the jack at that pace.
No. Well.
And really, Gary will think about doing exactly the same thing that Matty just nearly did there. Bowl or jack. Just underneath. Just underneath. Only two in it.
This game might boil over, you know, Steve.
Well, just thinking a couple of occasions here, Gary was lying to go 19. He was looking to have go 7 points clear. Now he's only 2.
Going back a long way.
Bum peg mark. He'd give a fair bit of prize money up to play the same kind of lead he did last end. He's not as good as his last lead down there, but it's not a bad bowl at all. Player of Gary's ability though should be fairly confident of putting one inside it. There's a good ball from Gary.
Yep.
Puts the pressure on Matt now. Matt's got he can't afford to give any easy points now. If he plays too aggressive a bowl, he quite easily leave Gary with room for another. Matt obviously tried to play one. He's not going to be happy. You think Gary has a good opportunity here to go all but. So he can afford to be confident and be brave at it. Can't do any damage with a length. Will it pass Matt's bowl? It does. Does it beat his second one now? It does. Gary Ellis 20, Matt Gilmore 16. Gary wasting no opportunity. Finger peg. Just to the edge of the north stand. Or a couple of yards short of the edge of the north stand.
Yeah, about 27 yards here. Bias towards the ditch. Ball starts to bend from here.
He's angry with himself for not playing a better lead. given Matt the opportunities, gone straight at it, not gone the same peg as Gary. And Matt will be absolutely devastated that it's pegged onto Gary's bowl. Matt looking up to the heavens for inspiration. Because where Matt's bowl's finished, it's actually, he's got 2 bowls in the way going finger peg, so Gary's turned over himself, gone thumb. He won't be happy with that either, but he's making Matt have to play a decent bowl to stay in the game. That may have gone a fair distance, that without that connection. But 2017. I think Matt only needs 4 more points, 2 ends, and he could be through to the final.
Coming thumb peg now, right through the centre of the green to the heaviest part of the green. Certainly uphill to here.
Needs to run, needs to be able to be a real good one. It's a good one now. Closer it gets, the better. Small yard off that bowl. Can this stop a length? Stops a length, it wins, you think? All the pressure on Matty now, 9 game down. He's after it, but has he reached?
Sure.
He's not reached. Condemned now. Can't do anything. Kicks him in. Game. We have a winner. Gary Ellis wins 21-17. And we know the final of this year's BCGBA FLOWFIT Champion of Champions will be between 2 players who have played against themselves so often over the years. Gary Ellis and Glyn Cookson. We are just going to go to a commercial break. Obviously these programmes cost a fair bit to produce, and this is done by the grateful and the very grateful contributions to the budget by a number of sponsors. So, well, welcome back to the coverage of the 2016 BCGBA FLOWFIT Champion of Champions. We've just seen 2 great semi-finals, and we're waiting for the finals to go ahead. It'll be Gary Ellis against Glyn Cookson. But I'm joined now by the man who's made this area all possible. I'm talking about Simon Parsonage and his company. You'll see the sign there saying FLOWFIT. Without them, we wouldn't be here. So Simon, thank you very much.
Good afternoon, Steve. Thank you.
You've done so much for the game recently, but everything is down to you, really. Are you happy with what we do? That's the most important job.
Oh, we're happy. We're happy with what you guys do, the BCGBA do, and the Waterloo do as well. We're really pleased to be involved once again.
Well, we're very grateful to what you want to do. We will do it, and we send your company's name across the world. So we're happy to do that. Just about the competition today, have you enjoyed it?
Oh, it's been some fantastic bowling. I mean, even from the word go, I mean, we were disappointed to see our local Shropshire guy go out, if you like, later on, or later on this morning. And then one of my old teammates basically went out in the quarterfinals. So there's been some great bowling, basically. I think a few surprises as well. And certainly I think we're in for a hell of a final, basically.
The thing about Crime Green Bowls, we all start with the same score, nothing. All you've got to do is get to 21. We know that as players, and it's proved it today. Some great players have gone out, but some great players are in the final.
There is. I mean, Gary's going for his 3rd title, I think. I'm not sure how many finals he's played in at the Champion of Champions. And Glyn, I know, has lost in the final once. 97, I think, was the time when I actually played here in that final. So I know Glyn. I'm sure Glyn will be keen to add that to his CV today. So it's going to be a great final. Who's going to call it?
No one I know will give a definite opinion as to who's going to win this game. No. Both have played as equally well as each other. As long as you've enjoyed it, the crowd's enjoyed it. Because we've got a full house here.
Yeah, absolutely. Another good turnout again. They've had a great week by the looks of it. So I think it'll be a noisy final.
Just want to say, we came down here yesterday with the setting up, and I saw you doing all the work, setting all the banners out. How many hours did you put in yesterday?
Oh, not that many. I mean, I think most of it was done by Barry, to be fair, who was our engineering manager. So thanks to Barry. But yeah, we had a good opportunity to watch some bowls about at the same time, so it wasn't all work.
Well, work and a bit of pleasure is never wrong. Obviously, we're hoping to carry on with these broadcasts next year. You've been involved with this event and all Crown Green events now for a number of years. You're obviously happy with what's been going on, otherwise the company wouldn't stay. Hopefully you're going to have a long association in the future with us.
Yeah, we'll see. It's this next year's another year, isn't it? So the game's obviously moving on at great strides at the moment. I just hope that the players are going to get a bit more rewards for their just desserts. I think that side needs looking at a little bit. So yeah, the game's moving in the right direction for sure.
Well, we're happy to be involved with you. Obviously, I hope you're happy with what we do. We hope to carry on for a great number of years, sending this great game of ours across the world with the FlowFit name on it.
Right. Thanks very much, Steve. Yeah, we're pleased to be involved.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Simon. We're just going to go to another quick commercial break, and we'll be back with the action from the final. So we'll see you soon. Welcome back to the Waterloo, the coverage of the final of the 2016 BCGBA FlowFit Champion of Champions. So the final is between Gary Ellis and Glyn Cookson. Gary's won the toss and will lead out. Gary, the 43-year-old finance manager, against Glyn Cookson, the 58-year-old local government officer.
Yeah, Glyn always says that when he gets to the All England final, he's too old, he can't last the pace for 64 runners, but I always tell him when he's in a field like this, it's one game less, it's only 32, so he can do it. But yeah, 15 years is a lot, but I mean, Gary's only relatively young yet, 43.
I think it's probably fair to say Gary's looked old for years. He's led up well, he's played thumb peg mark up towards the pub corner, put one merely inches away from the jack, and Glyn just slid by with his first bowl. So Gary's going for two. I'm not sure that's got another though. That'll have to be asked. Might be banging the land, that bowl though. Glyn's just making sure he was there. He's got any connection on block or bowl. Just slid by one side with his first and just slides by the other with his second. One to Gary. First point of the game.
And both these players have had fantastic careers, and as I say, Gary is relatively young. The chatter amongst some of the players is, will he be as dominant when he hears the patter of tiny feet? Gary playing down the roadside edge, playing round peg, thumb peg, biased towards the ditch, playing about 27 yards here, very quick finish. This time of the day, historically, this green normally starts to slow up.
Real good bowl from Glyn. The only thing that may happen to that bowl, with it falling over, it may just be visible as a target for Gary the other peg. I don't quite know what he's done with that. Less said about that one, the better. One to Glyn. Too far with his second bowl. I think he's terribly impressed with himself for playing that bowl. Someone of Glyn's ability, you probably thought he's an easy 2. Just play the same bowl again. We started level 2 ends ago. We're back level now.
Glyn adopting his favourite tactic, coming finger peg up into the cup corner, all uphill to this position.
He's still looking at it. He still likes this. Good weight, good land, good bowl. Immediately forces Gary to change over to the other peg. One peg at it. He thinks he might have a bit of a squeak with this, you know. He's still walking after it. Great effort.
Absolutely wonderful effort, that. I think the end's played. I don't think anything more can be done apart from a strike.
Tell you what, Roy. Now, Gary's going to come up and have a look at these because it's not a huge target. It's probably a target 2 bowls wide from the mat.
He's looking if there's a plant on.
Well, if he hits Glyn's bowl, his second bowl, it will shoot it onto his own and turn his own over.
Yeah.
Or if he hits Glyn's first bowl, there's a decent chance of it knocking it past the jack. So there's a definite 2 shot on. Certainly a 2 shot on for somebody of Gary's ability. Not sure I could play it. I could chuck it in the same general direction and see what happens, but he's looking at this, Gary. He's obviously played with it. He's making sure he's there. Connection on Glyn's bowl would be nice. And the extra weight that he's played with has just stopped it pegging in, made it go underneath. 1 to Glyn. That really lead bowl of Glyn's was not going to get licked unless it was going to get moved.
No. I always think Glyn's quite unique. He has a very tiny hand. His hand is almost like a lady's hand, and considering he plays with such a large bowl, he seems to spin them out, especially when he plays finger peg.
It's definitely a flick there.
Going a long way, quite deep into the north stand corner, finger peg.
Still walking after this is Glyn. He's not convinced that. I don't think he can quite believe his first bowl's finished there, which is a fair distance short of the jack. Hopefully a lot of room for Gary to get in. It's past the jack, so you've got to be careful it doesn't go too far, but it's finished a couple of foot past the jack. Be happy with that. Glyn's a lot further with this. Needs a connection, Glyn, I would imagine. Needs to hit summit. Hits the jack. Does the jack stay on the green? It does. I'm not convinced the bowl would have stopped where that jack is. Gary's strolling up again just to make sure how much room he has to get another. It will look from the mat and from our commentary position, both bowls look for someone of their ability, looks like there's plenty of room to get another. Obviously Gary can't afford to hit Glyn's bowl, his second bowl, too far. Could easily knock it in. Gary's second bowl on the way, doesn't look as far as his first. One to Gary Ellis. Evens the game up. Two each. Now Gary has a choice here. Which edge? Does he go the road edge or does he go the north stand edge? And the answer to that question is the north stand edge. If he's not gone as far, he's gone. The actual length of the mark is probably how far he would have liked to have gone. Probably a different position on the edge than where he would normally send them from. And his lead bowl is 4 foot past, 4 foot past. Certainly room for a player of Glyn's ability to play one, which he has. Good ball from Glyn. Still room for Gary though. There's nothing really. Neither bowl's unbeatable. Shouts from the crowd. Obviously the money's on the people backing Glyn. Was shouting Gary's bowl to Way.
To come the other peg now, just a yard through is the bowl. 10 yard through.
I think he might have struck at that thumb peg. Three-two to Gary.
Back down the edge he goes, finger peg, round peg.
No prices for guessing he was going to go there.
Very little difference in the bowls, both playing £2 11 ounces in weight. Glyn's just a low density bowl, so in theory it'll run just that little bit further. And they're very, very similar in bias, just a little bit stronger than the jack, both bowlers.
Good lead from Gary, good length, just needed to peg a little bit more to be a real wonder bowl. Glyn's bowl may have done something, may have just gone too far. Took a bit out of this one as Gary. Finish weak though. Oh, he's a slightly keen bowl, but that did absolutely no pegging at all at the death. If anything, straightened up. Weight again from Glyn, not messing round. Scatters the cameraman. That'll keep him on his toes. Oh, I'm not sure if we bother to insure these camera people. You can get them the 10 a penny down in Blackpool. Thumb peg, north stand edge. Gone a little bit further this time. It looks like a good bowl here of Gary's. Listen for the click. Bowl just settles. Be really difficult to beat that bowl thumb peg. It'll go down the hill, it'll go a yard off, may even go off, you know, may even go off. That bowl of Glyn's has done well to stop there. Gary puts one too close here. It will almost say that Glyn has to strike again, but he's obviously got another but left a huge gap. He's given Glyn the opportunity here to play a good bowl to save. Glyn just checking that it is two. Say Gary's a good judge, and if Gary has it, he'll offer an opinion. Gary's pointing towards his own bowl. Glyn's another excellent judge, and he's just going to go up to have a quick look. Obviously, the bowl to play, if it's only one, will be to play with as much weight in the world to try and move Gary's bowl. So it's still very early in the game, but I don't think Glyn will want to try and waste a bowl by striking if he's 2 down. The bowls Glyn's going to play here is solely dependent on if he thinks it's 2. If he thinks it's 2, he must play to save. Saver played, end of argument, 1 to Gary, 4-2. There's only one place Gary's going to go. Finger peg, north stand edge. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Though he's not played one, he'll be absolutely disgusted with himself for putting it there. And I'm not sure Glyn's played a great bowl either. It wins. It's finished well from now, it's pegged well for him. He actually finished a good bowl. But Gary will be really upset with himself for playing such a loose first bowl. Passes it on the inside. Is he far enough? Good ball from Gary. Glyn's playing weight again. Well, Glyn struck at that. He's hit Gary's counting bowl, which has gone on to Glyn's bowl. Both bowls are meandered towards the dyke. The result of that is 2 for Gary Ellis. And that awful lead that Gary played ended up being the closest bowl. Wow. Gary, 4 points to the good. Not wrong with that lead.
I think with the greens slowing up considerably in the last half hour enables them to play good bowls down that edge. Now it's not as quick.
Well, they can attack the jack a little better. They can be confident that the bowl isn't going to start meandering down that slope towards the dyke. It's a fair effort at Glyn's. It's just scraped by. Hopefully this time of the year in this country, you know, damps, the water's underneath the surface, goes a bit damp, goes heavier. So the green's not had any sun on it all day. So Glyn's just asking again, 1 or 2. Looking at this, Glyn, it's not the worst effort in the world, this. Oh, a nice in off. Big bowl, that. Could have been 8-2, instead it's 6-3.
He had 2 objects to go at, didn't he, jack or bowl, as long as he played on to either one or the other.
It was quite a broad target on the comb and thumb peg.
Yeah, here we go in the corner now. Playing thumb peg down into the pub corner. Heaviest part of the green.
Not the worst lead in the world, you know, Roy. Not the worst lead in the world. It's going to finish a yard short.
Yep.
It'll look closer from the mat. It'll look an absolute real bowl from the mat. Now, as Gary passed it, still running, you know. If he misses it, he wins. Ah, what a good bowl from Gary. Now, Glyn's only just got a passer zone. Any run and bowl passer zone will be a good one. He's just pegged a fraction tight. Wonderful length bowl. Just a bit more of a peg and finish in that low density bowl. Just took it away. And Gary's just decided one will do. Thank you very much. 7-3. I would imagine that Gary will head down the road edge again, Roy.
Yep.
Tactic that's worked well so far.
Yeah, thumb peg. Bias towards the ditch. Certainly quicker to this part of the green.
Will he's Cardinal sin. Send the jack off. Loses control now to where Glyn will send it. I would imagine that Glyn will probably think tactic from last time was to play a longer length. Obviously Glyn had in the semi-final had a very good success against Jimmy Hines playing thumb peg mark into the corner. Glyn sent the jack, but Gary sends the first bowl to it.
What a fine bowl.
I think we noticed in previous games we've seen today when the green was a fair bit quicker, and as you said before, I think a lot of the players were very wary of playing towards the jack, especially if it's by the die. A bit heavier now, and Gary could afford to be up to the bowl, up to the jack. I find it a little bit surprising Glyn turned over first bowl.
Yeah, he's just got the jack a little bit round the corner, and he probably thought it was best that peg, but I think you're right.
Loose bowl from him.
Yeah, he'd have been better off following Gary, I think.
Hopefully, give him an opportunity to play up to this bowl. Hopefully, nothing for sure. Any kind of connection would be nice. Seen so many bowls there over the years, just any kind of weight, it's not looking to peg.
They just hang off.
Another one to Gary Ellis, 8-3.
I just think these days, with all the time he's spent on the green, not only playing in the competitions but practicing as well, you've a job to lose Gary Ellis anywhere on the green.
And Gary's very adept at playing a bare length or the maximum length. He'll quite happily go corner to corner with you. But we've seen recently over the years, he'll go short marks to the middle of the green, short marks on the edge. Quite happy to do that.
I think the only place I've seen him struggle is right through the middle of the green, the opposite way, from the road up to this west stand, right through the centre of the green, straight peg down there. The full length of the green, that's the only place I've seen him struggle.
Just finishing a couple of foot short with that lead again. Has Glyn reached? Will it run and peg? It won't. There's room for Gary to get round that bowl of Glyn's. Try and count two. Gonna have to be an absolute stunner of a bowl to knock Glyn's in, so we can afford to be brave. I don't know why I said that, because he's put it 2 yards short. I say, well, there's room past on finger peg. It'll pegs well at the finish there. And Glyn's just gone too far, really. One more to Gary, gets him to 9. 6 points clear. So, tactics working well. Thumb peg along the edge. I say quick finish, anything past the jack will peg for England. Got a good chance of going into the ditch. And good lead. One was a really annoying lead, so it's difficult to beat, but there's a lot of it, but there's still a big gap. Good bowler Glyn's that. Gary's after this. Waving it, urging it past his own, urging it to pass him. Pass it. Oof, body language says, nope, not reached. Can Glyn just drop round Gary's bowls? Oh, roll short of getting another. One to Glyn Cookson. 4-9. And he's not going to send it on that edge. Looks towards the pub corner. And away we go.
It's kept it quite a considerable way out of the corner on this occasion. Probably about 4 yards from the edge of the green. And about 8 yards out of the corner.
What's notable about this jack is that previously they played to the road side of the corner, and this is to the cop side of the corner now. And he's just not played a lead he'd be proud of. Finished, well, 2 or 3 yards away. You know, Gary's not really done much to lick it. Barely squeezes past. Room for both these players to play a good ball with the second. This is labouring, but it's on much better land, so will count. But still plenty of room for somebody of Gary's ability. Furthest of all the bowls sent, as long as it's not too far. Going to go down that slope now. There's a very good chance that's gone out right. Both players will look at it, but it's...
They're having a look, definitely.
But I think you'll find that Gary can't believe his bowl's gone that far. Just stayed in. A couple of inches further than that one, that would have been too far. It's just enough weight to stay in.
Puts him in position to go down the road edge. Playing thumb peg. No danger of the jack going off this time.
It's what is evident in the game so far is that Gary can keep hold of the jack. Glyn hasn't. He's not got consecutive throws and consecutive leads at the jack. It's going to be very difficult for Glyn if he can't get a run with this jack. And Gary's, has upped his game now. He's leading better. He's got a six advantage. Some of Gary's experience will know. A couple of good ends now, and he's really put Glyn almost out the game. Another good bowl from Gary. better than it beats us first. Bit of weight played from Glenn. Difficult to lick those bowls. Play weight at it. Hangs out with pace though. Ellis 2, 12-4. Serious business now this of Glenn. He's in serious danger here.
It's going up the north stand edge, but from a much wider position. Be a different mark altogether this time.
This one doesn't peg as much. Still a good ball from Gary. He's playing those annoying leads where they finish a couple of foot away.
Yeah, they're just sufficient to think for you to think that you can just beat it.
Good effort here from Glenn. Oh, what a good ball.
Good ball.
He's looking at it. Gary's looking at it. Needs it to stop now. Needs to. Just gone too far. Just gone too far. Room for Glenn. And he needs to make his twos, does Glenn, to get back in this game. Ah, what a good ball.
Yeah,
Two good balls.
Well played, Glenn.
He'll lead out next end, 6-12 behind.
Wonder if he'll try something different now, because the last time he went into the bub corner it didn't work at all.
Well, they're getting into a bit of a pattern where, see, Glenn's trying to go a distance. He's not really leading well enough to put Gary under all that pressure. And Gary's getting in, and he is able to win the next end. He's drawn well clear.
Yeah, he's playing thumb peg right through the centre of the green. I think he's not bad here.
He'd be happy with that. That's a much better lead. Led to within 2 foot. Needs to stop this bowler, Gary's just gone out. Room here for Glenn. Glenn must have a good 3 or 4 ends to get back into the game. He lies 2 here now. Another good bowl. They won't be easy for Gary to beat. 2 bowls within 2 foot. He's looking at it, you know. Needs to peg now, though.
It's low enough.
Cookson 2. Back to within 4. Back in this now, Glenn. Thumb peg mark. Opposite corner. And he's gone deep in the corner. Jack's actually not stopped yet. Jack's not stopped yet. It's a bad Jack now. Cardinal sin. Just put pressure on Gary with the last end.
Yeah, he just got the Jack a bit lower down there, and because of that, he went towards the edge of the green where it was a little bit quicker. Still, a player of Glenn's experience, he can always play well to a set mark. Just got it narrowed.
pace actually was decent. But left room for Gary. He's not really stepped in himself. Gary fell into the trick there that Glenn's been suffering from. He's just struggled to get a length on peg.
He's not short.
There's an awful lot of room by that jack. Really, a summary of Gary's ability. This should be a relative formality, but it isn't. He's played a bad end here as Gary.
Glenn's playing finger peg now towards the heavy part of the green. He'd like to replicate what he did the last time he came up here. They played some wonderful bowls coming up here the last time they were here.
Urging this one to finish a bit better. If it runs, it's a real good one, but it's a 5 foot, 6 foot away. Glenn can't believe it. You could tell by Glenn's body language that he thought he played one with that. He thought it was a real good one. And Gary's had barely squeezed past. Gary can't believe he sent that either, to be honest.
Yeah, 12 o'clock today, those would have both been front touches.
Glenn's looking at this. It's in danger of going narrow. He's waving it to stay straight. Well, that wins. Referee Mr. D.T. Evans, Wales, informs Gary that he's one down. He's after this. There's something wrong with it, I think. He stopped running. He's looking at it with a
very low,
slightly forlorn expression. I'm not quite sure how he's done. He's not sure how he sent that there either. Scratches his head. And from 12-4 behind and looking a bit dejected and almost out the game, 6 unanswered points from Glenn Cookson, gets him to 2 points behind, 12-10. And a nice finger peg mark away from us here in the commentary box towards the banners of our sponsors, FlowFit. He's not gone as far into the corner this time, Roy. You'd probably say this was 3/4 corners, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Most.
Yeah.
He used this kind of length quite effectively earlier in the day against Damien Morrison. Both bowls finishing short of the jack, 2.5, 3 foot short. Glenn's tighter with this, but looks a better length. And passes the jack. Gary really just has to pass his own. That's the referee for a bit of guidance again. Who's on? How many? I think Glenn's one of the better judges in the game. He's walking after this, Gary. He's looking at it. See, he's only really got to beat his own. Beat his own, he must win. That's what he's done. Nice, easy game, Roy.
Yeah.
He needed that, Gary. Glenn's had a 6 break. The guy's had like 4 or 5 ends really without having to send the lead bowl to a jack. Still It's a lot of work for both players, really. Yeah, 1 to Gary, 13-10. He's given up the chance to go on the north stand edge, to go on the east stand edge, the road edge.
Yeah, playing finger peg, about 27 yards here, all uphill.
Needs to run if he finishes for a good one. Just fractionally narrow, a little bit short, finishes a yard off. Low density bowls of Glyn, travelling a bit better than Gary's. Almost goes out, you know, almost goes out. Gary after this one, trying to lie 2. Good ball from Gary. Glyn's looking at this. Good effort, hell of an effort. What a ball.
Very good.
If you're not sure what to do with it, put it by the jack. And that ball says stop Gary going 5 clear.
Yeah, for the people watching at home, it's probably as well to say that the green might look flat, but it's actually not. It's flat in comparison to most greens, but it's actually got an 11-inch crown. But because of that, there are very, very few falling marks on the green. Everything comes up to the jack.
Thumb peg mark from Glyn. That's the mark he played so well in the semi-final. Nice little connection on the jack. Looks a properly good bowl that from the mat. And Gary's not give up on this bowl of his yet. Labouring short for me. Good effort, but a couple of foot short. Glyn's second on the ground. He thought about running after it, then he remembered that he's 58 years of age. He's only going to be counting 1 with that. I think we've got bowl here for Gary. He's using weight, he's playing an aggressive bowl at it. I think he's gone. Is he narrowed? He's narrowed.
Yep.
He's played like a safe weight at that bowl. If he made a connection with his own bowl, he wasn't going to knock it out. He was just a carefully weighted bowl. No, only 1 in it, 13-12. Going to be quite happy because early on the game he's 12-4 behind. Right back in it. I suppose you'd probably say with the run he's had lately, he's probably almost favourite to win this game now. Certainly been the form player over the last few ends.
Playing thumb peg just below the crown, towards the cop. A wayward ball here.
Gary must step in, you would imagine. But not played a good one. I think both players will be putting this beaten. Will be improving with their second bowl. There's nothing within 3 yards of the jack so far. Much better bowl from Glyn. So he pegs quite well at the death. Gary lying 2 down. Not stopped looking at this yet. He's not stopped looking at it yet. Excellent bowl. "13 across. First to 8. So with the form both players have been in the last few ends, you'd probably say Glyn's gone favourite now. Long way to go, but I think the happier of the 2 bowlers will be Glyn Cookson.
Looks as though he's found a mark, doesn't he? He's found a mark that suits him.
His thumb peg. Quick finish on the jack. Anything passing the jack is in danger of going off. Looking at it, willing it to go closer. Not a bad lead at all. 2.5 foot, maybe slightly less. Room for Gary. Now, Gary's would have played this mark plenty of times over the years and has played a lot of good bowls on it. Fractionally better length than Glyn's, but I think Glyn's on the land. Not sure who's on. Glyn didn't need to know, just had to send his second bowl better than his first. If he beats his first, he has a real good one. And going from the camera's position we saw there, Gary's a good... Mr. Evans will tell us. A good judge. Also judged the final of the British Senior Merit at Lay Miners Welfare. And I think he indicates... Well, Glyn's also having a look. Can he get a clear run? Well. The players will decide who's on. I don't think Gary's too impressed. He hit Glyn's bowl closer. Gary's asking for measures just to confirm what's what. For Gary Ellis. Going by body language, I'm not sure Glyn Cookson can quite believe that.
No, I don't think he could. Big end that was, wasn't it?
Gary just tossing the jack in the air, thinking, what should I do with this? Sorely tempted to go on his edge, but I think he's decided on something new, and he's going to employ a tactic he used to great effect a couple of years ago in the final of the Waterloo and in the previous round of that Waterloo. Middle of the green, playing from middle of the green and back.
Yeah,
this is a new tactic he used then.
It's all uphill with the downhill finish.
What a good ball from Glyn. Very good reply. And a good lead from Gary.
Fantastic.
Just looking at this, Gary, is he popping it through? Oh, any kind of connection, he could have knocked Glyn's through the gap, or even just sliced the jack over. Referee confirms that Glyn's on. Can Glyn able to stop? Just goes too far. 1 to Glyn Cookson, 14-15.
Well, he's got to go to a corner now. Not sure which one he'll go to, but that's where he's heading.
Let's go back to where we came from.
Got to try and keep the jack on this time.
It's another one of those jacks where anything past it, it'll go a bit further than you want it to.
Yeah.
Safe lead, good lead, but a safe lead.
Yeah.
If he misses it, it's a good one. Gotta miss his bowl. What can he hit?
Oh, he hit wrong.
You think, to be honest, Gary would think, I've got a decent opportunity for 2 here to go 3 clear, and if he'd sent it a bit further he would have done. There wasn't a great deal of danger there, but it's 1 back to 2 points clear, 16-14. The tactic of playing to the crown and back has been abandoned, and it's finger peg on the edge. Playing from the corner of the west and north stands to the edge of the north stand towards the road edge, and this is a mark he's played to great effect on so many occasions over the years. And on so many occasions over the years, he's played a lead just like that. I think our friends who play the flatter version of our game will call that a receiving bowl.
Yeah.
Great effort from Glyn. That was one of those bowls. Gary's second bowl was that far wide, it was almost a free draw to the jack.
Yeah.
3 in front. Thumb peg mark along this edge. Gary's played it, has played countless bowls to a jack like this.
The way he delivered that ball there, he's actually crossing his legs. He's playing across his body to make sure that he doesn't go narrowed. It's a very, very good ploy. That kind of ploy would confuse so many players who, not realising that he's done it, will then just say, well, I'll just play what Gary's done, and I'm wondering why the ball goes nowhere near the same place as Gary's has done.
Gary's played a bit of a loose end.
Yep.
Won't be happy with that. If I'm being honest, for players of their ability, that was almost a shocker of an end.
They're coming towards the end of a very tiring day, a long, hard day. You could forgive them that.
Yeah. One to Glenn Cookson. Thumb peg towards the pub.
He's got the jack a bit lower down this time. It's more akin to the corner.
He finished a couple of foot past. And Gary's walking after this ball. Follows it up 10 yards or more past the mat. Very good length. A good ball from Glenn. Gary wants to know if it's 1 or 2. Only 1 according to the referee. I think that will just asking Glyn to check. Must surely mean he's playing weight at this ball. On the outside. One to Glenn Cookson, and there's only 1 in it. Glenn Cookson will lead out 16-17 down. To a thumb peg mark. It's the mark he played for most of his semi-final against Jimmy Hines. Needs to run for me, Roy. Needs to run for me. If it runs, it's a good one.
Yeah.
You have to think that Gary can beat that ball. And what I've just said about Glyn's bowl, I can say about this bowl as well. It needs to run for it to be a good one. Glyn's fair that. Glyn may just have played an absolute wheeling. Yeah, what a good ball that was.
Yeah.
Gary's trotting after this. Clear run, Clear run if he's far enough. If he's far enough. $17 across. First to 4.
Well, the punters have certainly had value for money today, and even more so in this final. It's been a really cracking final. A little bit deeper with the jack, another 2 or 3 yards further.
Bit of a loose lead again though, Roy.
Yeah.
Just hung out slightly.
Yep.
Gary's walking after this one, halfway across the green. Thinks he's played one, and has. Gives Glyn a bit of an option here. Which peg does he go at it? Way to finish, it looks a bit of a target finger peg. Roughly, he can't afford to be silly with weight.
A bit on the low side.
Slight improvement on his first bowl, but Gary Ellis be thinking, there's room here, I can get another, play the same bowl again. Well, Offley definitely won. No indication yet if it's any more than one. Some sound judges in the crowd have said it's only one. The merest glance at it from Gary signals one to the marker. 18-17. Previous tactic. Thumb peg on the road edge. Just slid by, Roy, just at a yard past. It looked for most of its run that was going to be a good one.
Well, this will certain to reach.
The Cardinals seen so many players have going that way, go too far. And Gary's played a good one there. Nice 2 to go all but. Giving Glyn. Well, Glyn's not short again. Not short again. Slid past. They'll go now. 2 for Gary. Brave bowl that of Glyn. He was all or nothing really. Knew he was 2 down. Knew he was 2 down. He played a brave bowl there. Just didn't quite come off for him.
Yeah, this edge mark's come to Gary's rescue on many occasions, and it certainly came to his rescue there. He'll come back up now towards the pub, play finger peg. No, he's doing something different. Something completely different. Coming to the middle of the green.
This is not far off being the shortest length of the shortest mark of the game.
Yeah.
Oh, what a good ball from Glyn.
Good ball.
Gary left a bit of room there, 2.5 foot away. Gary must be sorely tempted to strike at this. Difficult to beat finger peg. State of the game dictates, I think, that he tries to make sure Glyn can't get 2. Hell of an ever ball from Gary.
Who am I to question Gary's tactics? But I feel sure he would have been better going down the edge round peg towards the pub. I think he had a much better chance of counting the end there. But he's only going to go 1 down anyway.
Cookson 1, 18-20. Option for Glyn now. With which corner do we head to? And it's the pub corner chosen. If this jack stays on, it'll be nothing past it, Will.
It's gone off again, gone off.
Question now being for Gary is the same one. Where do we go with this? It's gone thumb peg. Thumb peg back to where they came. Say another short mark. Trying to catch Glyn out with the pace again. He's gone a yard past. Gary thinks he's played one, you know. He's followed it most of the way there, edging it closer. Wins, well, a big foot, maybe 16 inch off. Lies game. What can Glyn Cookson do? What can Glyn Cookson do? Oh, he's short. He's finished a bowl short. Glyn can't believe it. Cardinal sin. Be short when you're lying game down. And we have a winner of the 2016 BCGBA FLOWFIT Champion of Champions, and it's the one and only Gary Ellis. No player won so many qualified tournaments to be here, and it's quite fitting that the winner of today's event is that man. Gary's third success, joining his wins in 2004 and 2011. A very deserved winner. And we're just going to stay with us because the presentation will be due in a few moments. The trophy's already on the green. Gary's being congratulated by a lot of the spectators. He would have been one of those plays at the start of the day, Roy, that people would have looked at the odds and thought, you know he's going to give it all, you know you're going to get value for your money.
Yeah, it was only a 4-to-1 chance, but with his pedigree, I suppose quite a lot of people would have taken that. And I think it's been a great fun. That's a credit to both players. I think they've put on a first-class show. Green's not been easy to play, but it's been a first-class day for everybody.
You see, Glyn will be looking. There's 12-4 down. Got back, got level, almost became favourite. You would say, because he was certainly the form player halfway through the game. But Gary's a difficult player to give such a good start to. Counter in the end.
Yeah, I think the big surprise of the day is people like Graham Wilson and Greg Smith and Callum Reid all going out very, very early on. You'd have got big odds against that happening.
Well, I imagine some of the heat betting that would have been going on would have told a different tale. I can't imagine many people would have backed Callum Wright to only score 3 in his game. I think fairly certain Graham was strong favourite in his heat against Nick Burridge.
Yep.
Obviously the Greg Smith game against Glyn Cookson, that would have been, I'm fairly certain Greg would have been favourite, but he wouldn't have been a huge favourite on the heat. Glyn has an awful lot of pedigree and an awful lot of supporters who would have bet on him. So we're just waiting for the presentation to commence. John Coxill, the British Crown Green Competitions Officer, will do the honours and call the British Crown Green President and the sponsor Simon Parsonage. Say Peter Hyam, this is the penultimate event of his presidential year. Presentation party so they can crack on. Checks have all been signed. Simon Parsonage just going to say a few words. Just calling Jimmy Hines to receive his losing semi-final check from Peter Hyam and Simon Parsonage. And Jimmy Hines, winner of the British Parks Merit. The other losing semi-finalist is Matt Gilmore, who was the winner of the FlowFit Senior Merit, held on a fantastic day of bowling at the Lay Miners Welfare Club in Wrexham. Lynn Cookson, winner this year of the Cheshire Merit, calls forward to receive his runner-up prize. The runner-up prize of £500. And Gary Ellis, the winner of the Greater Manchester Merit, the Cleckheaton Sports Classic, the Hillcrest Classic, the Navigation and Railway Open, the Spen Masters, and obviously the Talbot Trophy. That list will be joined by this trophy, the BCGBA FlowFit Champion of Champions, which he wins for the third occasion. Gary also receives the winner's prize of £1,000. Gary's just posing for a few more photos. Gets a kiss off Evelyn Hastings, the acclaimed referee and deputy president of the British Crown Green Ladies Bowling Association. And that is a picture you've seen so many times over the years, Gary Ellis smiling with the winner's trophy. As the crowd makes its way out of the stadium, some will be going home, some will be going for something to eat, some will be topping up their glasses, some no doubt will be falling over soon. So Gary, a proud Manchester United supporter, will be delighted by their success this morning? I'm not, but he will be. We are shortly to go to a commercial break, and then we'll be back with a few interviews. We're going to try and have a few words with a very, very gallant runner-up, and a very, very in Glyn Cookson, and a very happy winner in Gary Ellis. This venue has seen a number of fantastic bowling days, and it's seen another today. Thanks must go to Gordon Butler, the greensman, and obviously everybody involved, Mark Gordon, the Waterloo manager, everybody involved at the Waterloo committee who've done a fantastic job this year. An awful lot of very hard work goes on behind the scenes, and it must go on record all the work they've done. Tireless amount of hours have gone in, endless amount of hours gone in just to making sure this fantastic venue is. There's no other venue in this fantastic game of ours that can have so many spectators in a safe manner enjoying the game. And obviously these programmes are brought to you with the help and the financial support of a number of sponsors, and we're just going to have a commercial break now as we thank them by giving them a bit of exposure. There has to be a winner, there has to be a runner-up, and after playing a fantastic game of bowls, unfortunately the man next to me is the runner-up. Glyn, you played very well today.
Yeah, thanks Steve. I was, in general, throughout the whole day, I've played a lot of good bowls. I'm not too disappointed because I've not let myself down, and it's been a really good final. Well,
every time you see Glyn Cookson, he always does well, he always plays well. You played well today. All through today you played really well. Any particular games, performances you want to remember?
Well, I can remember a lot of good bowls, but it would be shared around all the games really. But I mean, I had a really good game in the semis against Jimmy, but probably in the first game again. Greg Smith. Between Greg and Gary, it's a right handful, and I've played a lot of good bowls against both of them, and fortunately for me, at least, I was able to win the first game. But Gary's a great player, and I remember a lot of good against him as well.
We noticed it seemed to be a bit of a change in the green. It's been playing very slick all week, especially compared to last Saturday. What do you think about the green today, differently to obviously last Saturday all week? It's getting quicker and quicker.
Yeah, well, the most important thing is it's immaculate. It's absolutely wonderful to play on again. There'll always be times when it's a bit stiffer and a bit quicker, and possibly in the final it just went off a yard if you went a bit further, but it's a tremendous challenge, and it's a wonderful green again.
Well, Grant, congratulations on getting so far in the competition. Unlucky, mate. There has to be a loser. A loser to have played so well, but congratulations anyway. We're just going to go to a quick break, and I'll be back with an interview with the winner, Gary Ellis. See you soon. Welcome back. And joining me now is the three-time winner of the Champion of Champions and the 2016 BCGBA FLOWFIT Champion, the one and only Gary Ellis. Congratulations.
Thank you, Steve. Yeah, it's been a great day. I've enjoyed it.
Well, I don't blame you. £1,000 winner's cheque as well. Yeah. Not a bad day's work.
No, but in something like this, the money's a little bit secondary. You're looking to win one of the major tournaments, which this is, of course, and I've managed to get over the line, so I'm very pleased.
Well, congratulations again. I had a quick chat with Glyn about the green. It's immaculate, isn't it?
Yeah, when the green's like this, and obviously I've not been playing here as long as Glyn, but I've played here a long time now. There's something for everybody. There's plenty of pace on the short marks, but the longer marks in the corners are still there, and it's a competitive green. Jimmy Hines, who I know he won the British Parts Merit on here, but he wouldn't have a lot of experience on here. Has beat two great players today. 2 or 3 great players today. I can't remember who he played first game now, but I think he beat Simon Kelp and Tommy Johnson, and that's a mark of the green. Everybody has a chance when the green is this kind of pace, and it's a fantastic pace to play at.
It's one of those surfaces where it doesn't quite make you play good bowls, but you've got no excuse for playing a bad bowl.
Well, my view is if you get 2 good players playing well, you should see a good game, which you don't always see on here. Depending on the condition of it, but secondly, usually if you feel a good one out of your hand, it finishes a good one.
Well, I say congratulations again. Fantastic support from all the crowd. Not quite as raucous, no fancy dress people this time, but you get good support.
No, Gillis has had a day off, I think, today. So, but no, it was a great atmosphere to play in, and no problems at all with that.
Well, it's great to see so many people turn up to watch a game of bowls competition, especially this competition.
Absolutely, having a bit of a renaissance here, I think, and it was a good crowd here on Wednesday and a great crowd here today, and two pretty good finals. So we've got to try and keep it going here.
Well, see, an awful lot of work goes in when no bowlers are here. Mark Orden does an awful lot of work. All the work seems to be paying off.
Yeah, I think so. And the main thing here is the green. If they can keep the green in this kind of condition, then people will come and play on it, 'cause it's a fantastic surface to play on.
I just want to thanks to Gary, thanks to all the team here. A big thanks to also FlowFit, who without them, none of us would be here. The competition will probably go ahead, but maybe not to the standard it is. We wouldn't have the streaming. To all the guys who've been working on the production, a big thanks to them. There's too many to mention, and I'll probably get hit for not mentioning everybody, but what the hell, why not? We'll be back tomorrow for the Country Garden Roses ladies version of this very event. We hope to see you then, and until then, I'd like to wish you a pleasant evening and goodbye.